As the host of an adventure channel, Joseph has loved animals and the nature since his childhood. Despite his young age, he has almost traveled all around the globe. Under the suggestion of his friends, he started adventuring as a career. His humorous speech and bold actions brought the adventure show back to life. Sometimes, you can see him in a Mahjong club, sitting indoors for the entire afternoon. I might redo that one. My diction was a little...
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Also,
okay.
You did not say sitting indoor, which
I was like,
hoping...
it's important that it's sitting indoor.
I was considering it, but I felt mean for having said the nature. Like
the nature.
It out.
The nature.
Under the suggestion of his friends.
Under the suggestion of his friends.
He got really into summoning 101.
You can see him sitting indoor.
Sitting indoor.
You can see him indoor.
Okay, Emma, time to be banished to the mute zone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, wow, it's time to do the thing. I should drink some water first.
Whoa. Sip, sip.
Hello and welcome. Look, I'm too excited is the problem.
Yeah. No, you can
Deep
peek
breaths.
the microphone. It's our first episode back.
Hello and welcome to Soulmates, where we talk about all our favorite little guys in all our favorite little games. I'm Ivy Fox. You can find me on co-host. And I have 2 plugs this week, which is both my horror fiction podcast, The Mad Bird, which is done. It's finished. You can go listen to the whole first season on your podcast app of choice. And also, our sister podcast, Together We'll Shine, a Utna Rewatch podcast, which will have new episodes coming out, like, the week that this episode releases.
Whoa.
So, like, there's... those plugs, they're, like, relevant again.
It's Ivy podcast time.
It's Ivy podcast time. Speaking of podcast time, who are people who are having podcast... Joining me, as always, is Ash.
Hi! I couldn't wait until my spot in the intro to start talking, because I'm so excited to be recording Soulmates again. I'm Ash. You can find me, if you believe in yourself, and really, like, just close your eyes and look deep into your soul, and, you know, you'll find me there. Take my paw. Hold on tight. Let me shield you from. I run the show's co-host at Soul-Bates-Podcast. See, we said we weren't gonna like do newspeak nonsense things, but like I'm just affirming that's how this episode's gonna be.
We said
we always do.
We said are we going to do nonsense bullshit that no one will
and
understand?
I said yes.
And then we said yes. So you're on the right track. Please continue.
I run the show's co-host at Soul-Mates-Podcast. You should use the co-host asks feature. For what? I'm not sure, but you should.
Ash, let me tell you, we may or may not have a bonus feature later that involves the co-host asks feature.
Whoa. Well, that's exciting. You could use it for that. You can find me on Ko-Fi at Asherlark, and you can support the show ko-fi.com/IvyFoxArt. That's all the stuff I do, right? I'm used to doing the whole intro now, because I just finished with God Vision.
I know, now we have to share again. It's awful. Our theme is by S1E13 Electronica, so you can find on Bandcamp, and our cover art is by Rygarden. You can find it on Instagram. This season, we're Yes, we're talking about the characters from Mahjong Soul by Yostar and Cat Food Studios, a blend of cute, appealing anime girls with classical Japanese Mahjong. In their words, not mine. Wow, I'm having like a fucking Bernstein Bears moment, where I swear it was cute and appealing anime girls, but this copy just says cute, appealing anime girls, and I'm pretty sure I copied it directly from... And so is it not cute and appealing? Is it just cute appealing?
Suspicious.
Cute, comma, appealing?
I'm looking this up. It's extremely important to me.
Uh-huh.
It is cute, comma, appealing. What the hell?
What the fuck?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Hi, Ash. Wow,
Hi,
we're
Ivy.
recording a podcast together. I almost said in the same room. That's not true. Maybe someday, that'd be fun. Like, yeah, hi. Wow.
Hi.
Hello. I haven't
Whoa.
seen you in 7 years.
That's not true, and you know it.
No, we talk every day, but we've been, our like podcast selves have been, well, you've been stranded on a boat, and I've been sort of doing like an around the world in 80 days kind of thing. And it's sort of been a whole situation.
We're back in the Mahjong dojo.
Now we're back in the Mahjong dojo. Hello. I'm scrolling up to find our little... Anyway, so we have... that's our... I was like, why is this... Why are there messages about, like, art projects? And it's because that's our DMs. And I put this in the group chat. Anyway, we're just... No, that's still scrolling too far. I'm so bad.
I have them.
Okay, great. Oh, there we go. Hi. So we have a podcast, including a guest who you just heard. But before then, I just wanted to chat with Ash a little bit about, like, the summer and, like, how did it go and stuff. And I created a little list of questions because I'm a nerd. And also, I'm going to adjust my microphone because I'm at a weird angle because I'm recovering from surgery and it's hard to...
Ivy is recovering from surgery.
Yeah, this is sort of famous. I'm sort of famous for recovering from surgery.
I'm recovered from surgery.
Are you? That's good.
I've been cleared to do all activities.
Wow, look who can do all activities.
I can do all activities.
All activities. Alright, do you want to talk about July?
Yeah.
Okay, how was your surgery recovery? How'd that go?
I'm so good at surgery recovery. I know Ivy wouldn't put me at S tier on the surgery recovery tier list, but I'm so good at surgery recovery. It was fine. It was like, it was genuinely extremely frustrating not to be able to lift my arms above my head for like a month or like lift things heavier than 5 pounds. Because every time I did it, I know my mom is going to listen to this. And every time I did it, my mother would like go, no. I would like kind of stretch up in order to like get something from a cabinet. I wouldn't even, my like forearm wouldn't even, go above my head. And she would still be like, no, I don't think you could do that. I tried to do like a fun little gesture at one point and she was like, I don't think you should do that. And I was like, I have to explode. I got so mad about not being able to lift my arms.
Yeah. As soon as Ash could lift their arms again, they sent me a video of them doing the YMCA, but like
badly.
really badly. really badly. And then I was
worse
like...
than anyone has ever done it.
Like, it's kind of the worst to ever do it.
I got the Y.
You got the Y, and then everything else just kind of fell apart
The C
from
was
there.
pretty good, I think.
And then you had that for a while in the little video. You just kept going, but the important part is, why?
Why? Because I was just lifting my arms above my head.
Uh-huh. And then
I did it in front of my mom as much as humanly possible, just to make her frightened of my, my prowess.
And then I asked you to send me a video of you throwing a pillow against the wall, and
I
you
did.
did a great job at that. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You did a little smirk at the camera after. It's one of my most treasured possessions, is this video of Ash throwing a pillow against the wall.
One of my friends asked me to do the hot to go dance, and I had to admit that I don't know what that is. Because I'm not culturally relevant.
Yeah, me neither.
It's a Chappelle Rowan thing. I know now.
I know
I
things
didn't
about
do it.
some gacha game characters. That's
And
all
that's
I know.
it.
That's it. What did you think of the Great Gacha World Tour? Did you have a good time?
Yay!
Did you enjoy it? I put so much work into it just for you. Did you like it? What did you like about it?
Yeah. I have been thinking about I think about the World Flipper episode every day of my life. To be honest. Cause like, listen, you sent, or somebody, you sent the link to like the private World Flipper server up thing, and I was like, maybe I should do this, because this game seems good, and like it has good art, and then I didn't, because, you know, I can't keep that stuff, I don't have enough storage on my phone, as frequently discussed.
We'll get to this.
But, you know, I was like, damn, I just need to, like, look through the World Flipper wiki and just enjoy myself. And this is the reaction of everyone I know who listened to this episode.
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
need to
pretty
get
glad.
you need to get that private server thing on your mom's phone, because your mom got
Yeah.
into World Flipper.
Yeah. Oh god, what's the, I remember everything that, I'm so good at memory. Oh, I enjoyed, I enjoyed our episode with the least listenership yet, where you do just like listen to porn for a while.
For almost exactly 8 minutes.
For almost exactly 8 minutes. That was great. I liked like hearing you and Frankie do a podcast together, and then listening to that episode and being like, damn it, Fandory Bang Dream Girls Fan Party, the Pink Bear Michelle, and I enjoyed Diagonalitis, which is now a thing that I think about every single time that I look at an image in a gacha game.
Yeah, I've been thinking about Diagonalitis. I've been thinking about Diagonalitis for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a thing that came up like last year between.
But now you finally shared it with the world, and
now
by the world I mean me.
The world, and I got a little too mad. What? I mean, it sounds like. Well, I actually don't know the answer. Not necessarily. I mean, you thinking about World Flipper doesn't necessarily. But what was your favorite?
It
episode?
It is my favorite episode, though.
It
was good.
It's a banger episode of the podcast.
It is.
Shout out to Tam.
It's a high frenzy meter episode of the podcast, which is what makes it so funny to go directly into the Bandori episode, which is like the most chill episode on our feed.
Yeah, me and Frankie have like me and Frankie do get frenzy feral, but like in a very particular way. And we'd like it works. The reason why in me and Frankie's podcast dynamic it works is because we're chill for a long time, and then we start to lose it, and the contrast is really what sells it. I think about never mind.
I was talking to my mother about those two episodes, and she was like, I really enjoyed listening to Frankie, because, meaning no disrespect to the things that you do, it was nice to have a break from the feral children. And I was like, wow.
Well, Pax can just go and listen to me and Frankie's podcast. Like, goddamn.
I think you and Tam have the most feral children energy on the feed, and you and Frankie have the least feral children energy on the feed. But now we're back to sort of a status quo. How did making the Great Gacha World Tour go?
It was like kind of a mess. First of all, in case it wasn't incredibly obvious from the fact that I was constantly forgetting which episode this was, I recorded them all out of order because I had to do like guest shit, you know, and so I had to fit people's schedules in, and I had to try and like get it all done before we recorded our last episode of Soulmates, which was important to me. So I think I recorded them in the order of Burb was first, which I think I kind of wish that he wasn't, because I was a little anxious going into that episode, and I think it shows a little bit, at least in the beginning of that episode. I was just very nervous. Burp was first, and then I recorded the fourth one last. And so all that shit I say at the end of that episode about how much I've enjoyed like going over all these different games and stuff, and how much I want the Great Gacha, that's all kind of bullshit.
I'm sorry. Which one did you record?
The fourth one second with Harry.
Okay, you said the fourth
second.
one last, which I know was not true.
No, sorry. The fourth one was second, and then I think the third one was third. But after the fourth one, which was funny because I got to pitch what was coming in the next episode to Frankie, knowing exactly what it was, which like, and then I recorded Tam's last. Which I think is why it sort of came out sort of production-wise the best, is I was just, I mean, again, I think, I think that's why those two sort of are, like, the second and the third episode are the last ones I recorded, and so I was, at that point, like, very comfortable, and I think that helped, but it was messy, but it was fun, it was really fun to, like, and also all of my guests had different audio issues. Oh, except for Tam. Shout out to
Perfect.
like being married to an audio engineer.
Whoa.
But I had a good time. It was really fun to look at different games. It was really fun to look at different art styles, and it was fun to have guests and like, I don't know, interact with like the different ways that different people look at art. I had a really good time. It was good.
Well, the other reason why I like the World Flipper episode the most is because Soulmates is Praxis.
Yeah, and we converted Tamsin. Yeah, converted.
Get converted. How? What was your favorite episode?
I can't just say the World Flipper episode.
You can.
I
probably could have. I could have left that comment for you, but I thought of it and I wanted to say it.
I mean, it's just a real, I am out, the World Flipper episode, let's get this out of the way, it's just like a really good episode of the podcast. I felt like weird saying this for a long time, because I was like, is this rude to Ash? But I'm just like, it's just a really good episode of the podcast. God, this episode is gonna go long, that's fine. But it's just like, it just like has really good flow, and we're like trying out a new format, and the new format went really well, it was just solid all around. But I think I'm gonna just like go completely out of left field and say, hey, oh my god, I'm being DM'd by Tristan.
Yeah, Tristan also just DM'd me. Tristan, we're recording a podcast right
Tristan,
now.
we're recording he doesn't even listen.
I know you're very droll, but
anyway, but I'm gonna just completely swing for the fences and say that my favorite quote-unquote episode of the Great Gacha World Tour is the fourth one, WL
quote-unquote episode,
WLWLBLBLE, which I sort of considered not really an episode of the show, or really an episode of the podcast, because that's just not.
Don't worry, guys. If you don't listen to that one, you're not missing anything.
You are missing a lot, but like me and Harry, who I can't believe. You think me and Tam had the most feral children energy, and not me and Harry?
Well, that's true. You did go through it very fast.
We like sat down on the couch, and then everything just kind of blurred past. Like, we didn't have a clock in front of us. It was just us on my fucking couch, staring at undulating men on Harry's phone. And we just completely lost track of time. And I was like, and we get to the end of all the outfits, and I'm like, what fucking, like, time is it? I can't even, like, think. And it had only been, like, an hour. And then Harry was like, okay, do you want to do the top quiz? And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, well, I guess let's watch a sex scene. And it was just like a mess. Like, it's avant-garde. It's an avant-garde episode of the podcast. Like, me and Tam did, like, new things, but we still just did an episode of the podcast. Me and Harry, I don't know what happened on that couch. And it's confrontational art, and I think that's good.
Uh-huh.
I think it's good if we do a weird thing sometimes. And so
That's true.
the World Flipper episode is everyone's favorite episode. I'm gonna say it's the episode that nobody listened to. It's just to be kind of edgy.
Yeah, you can make a statement.
Uh-huh.
It's your God-given right.
My God-given right.
And then it was August, and
it was August.
And I did stuff. And then it was August, and I did stuff.
Uh-huh.
And Ivy got surgery. How was recovering from surgery?
I
already know.
Uh-huh. So before I say anything, I'd like to clarify that I'm doing well and surgery went well. I need to clarify this so that I can just talk and not have people think that bad things happen. But physically, surgery recovery went well. In many ways, surgery recovery for me was very, very, very difficult. Unlike, surgery recovery was very difficult for Ash in a lot of ways. But Ash got to go home like immediately, and I spent over a week in the hospital. First of all, like one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me like right before surgery, and it freaked me out. And then and the surgery went well, but I spent a week in the hospital and then 2 weeks at a nursing station, and it was like, and I like really truly like couldn't walk for a while, and it was a lot. And then I come home and I'm like, my apartment is not super accessible, and I like and it's been kind of a lot. So I don't know. Ash knows.
I know.
Ash, how was my surgery recovery?
Oh, not great. But you are like, listen, you literally got a good grade on surgery recovery, in the sense that you were like in the top percentile of healing for your surgery. And that was awesome. I think about this maybe too much for a thing that didn't happen to me. I was like, oh my god, getting a good grade in surgery is something that's normal to think about and possible to achieve. It's possible to achieve. But given that we've done like, we did do like nothing but talk about your surgery recovery for like a few weeks. It's been.
Yeah.
But it improves.
Yeah.
Gradually.
It's okay. It's, you have a major surgery. And that's hard. Controversial opinion.
I don't think it is, actually.
Oh, well, fucking best boy goddamn electric over here.
But what did you think of Gone Fishing? More importantly, let's talk about me.
Shut the fuck up. I thought the Gone Fishing... oh my god.
You can't.
I'm editing that out. Editing the podcast moment. I thought that Gone Fishing was fucking awesome. I loved Gone Fishing. I thought it was... I'm such a nerd about this stupid podcast in a way that nobody else is. I think about like the structural integrity and the value of this podcast like every day. But like, I thought it was awesome generally this summer to like sort of spread our wings a little bit and experiment with some things. And I thought Gone Fishing was an awesome little experiment. And also just like honestly, I think Gone Fishing could just like be its own podcast.
Yay! It would
just
be
like
way too much work to be its own podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, just like a once a month thing. I don't know, it would be way too much work to be its own podcast. But I did think it was awesome. It was awesome to like talk about a bunch of different games, like not being constrained by like, what my guests are experts in. Let you really like spread your wings and do some interesting and funny stuff. and I just really enjoyed Gone Fishing. I almost like here's how like I look forward to it every week, and it was like the highlight of my week every single time.
Aww.
And I almost like I almost like kind of wanted to like one play along and play the games, and you know, but I didn't because I just like wasn't focused enough. And then I was also like, at some point I had the thought, man, I sort of wish that I had, instead of just listening to the podcast episode, I like listened to each segment once a day for a week. This is stupid. Like, this wouldn't really be a good, but it was just really good. It has a really good flow. I have more to say when you ask the next question.
What was your favorite episode?
Okay, so I'm going to say something nice about every episode first, and I'll conspicuously skip my favorite episode.
Okay.
Episode 1, I just love to dunk on fate. I love that this is an aspect of our podcast now, is that we just dunk on fate. Like, that's good. I think
it's not good.
This is praxis, I think.
Yeah.
It's praxis to dunk on fate. And it just
People need to know.
People need to know. People, do you know that fate is kind of bad? But like it was good. It was fun just for that. It was like a good you finding your feet doing this thing. You sort of went in a lot of different directions. It was nice. Episode 3.
Oh. Well, there we are.
The thing I like about episode 3 is that it kind of had this feeling of you like kind of had this feeling of like us hanging out at a playground after school. We're teenagers, to be clear, in this fantasy. We're hanging out at like a playground after school, and like, you know, we were in the same middle school, but we went to different high schools, but we still hang out. And you're just kind of like complaining about your schoolmates.
It's just so weird. It's kind of annoying.
Because like the gameplay stuff was like whatever. You were like, oh, the rhythm gaming is fine. There's like too much flashing effect, but like 90% of every day was just like you being like, oh my god. And then I was hanging out with a pop-in party, and they did this annoying thing, and it was like, oh my god, so obnoxious. But then it had this like really good arc where like on like day 4 or whatever, you switch to the story of what are their names? The idol band.
Oh, Pastel Palettes.
You switch to the story of Pastel Palettes, and you're like, oh my god, I love these guys so much more. They're so funny, and like I really like their, and like, oh my god, she's really into kendo. Isn't that weird? Oh my god. And it had this really nice arc of you like, and then you end the episode being like, well, you know, I'm moving on, but I'll remember Pastel Palettes forever. And it had this really like, you know, just had like a good energy. And episode 4 was it was incredibly gamer, and I just liked it for that.
This is my dark secret.
Like, you just kind of like talking about, like, genuinely talking about game mechanics and game design in a way that was pleasing, and I enjoyed, just like, I don't know, I like talking about, like, it was a very kind of like serious episode in which you discussed like the structure of this somewhat like seriously considered game, and it was nice.
My dark secret is that I love game design, and then I didn't talk about it for most of the podcast.
And it was like, it was fun to have like an episode focused on like story stuff, and an episode focused on game design stuff. But my favorite episode was episode 2, Food Fantasy. Fruity Energy.
None of my titles were that good. This is my I need you for this.
How do you feel about Back and Birder Than Ever for this one?
If you can guess what character we're doing. Well, no, you can't, because you've already done the fucking intro. Never mind.
Anyway, the Food Fantasy episode. So people, I have a dark secret, which is that I'm like kind of obsessed with Ash. They're like kind of great, IMO. and are kind of weird in like an amusing way. And one of my favorite things about Ash is just the way that they get kind of like ferally obsessed with things. And like, listen, like you enjoyed your time with fucking what's it called? Sorry, Arknights. Also fucking shout out to me, Arknights called shot.
Yeah.
You you enjoyed your time with Arknights. And you were like, I want to keep playing this. But like you weren't food fantasy about Arknights. And the food fantasy episode was you just being like you were just like, I just want to be playing food fantasy, but I just want to be like grinding mats. I just want to go grind mats so I can have more potatoes. I need my guys to make the potatoes into things so I can get resources, so I can level up my spicy gluten but the art is really good, but I can't talk about it because I'm too busy thinking about my potatoes. And like, it's just this kind of like a descent into just like, I don't even know. Like, it's just you being sort of like food fantasy. It seems it's like maybe not even that like good of a game in this sort of like objective way that Arknights is, this pseudo objective way. But you were just like it's just like gotten a hold of my heart and I cannot escape. And it was just like everything to me.
While you were talking about this, Moon DM'd me because they were asking me for my food fantasy friend code earlier, and I forgot to give it to them.
Is food fantasy still on your phone?
Yes.
See, this is
I kept it on there. I deleted everything else. Food fantasy is still on there. I was like, but I really like Arknights, and maybe I should keep playing it. No. And then I was like, no. I need that space for food fantasy.
I need that space for food fantasy. Anyway, that's my too long answer to this question. I liked all of them, but food fantasy, it just like, it kind of captured my favorite parts of you as a person. So, thus it was my favorite.
Do you think the people who listen to our podcast know that we're like friends? Are we outing ourselves?
Oh no.
It's not just like
editing Ivy. Fix this. Non-friendly podcast work wives.
All we do is make a podcast.
Yeah, and then it's over.
We don't speak to each other.
I keep Ash blocked every day except Thursday and Sunday. Thursday when we record, Sundays when we release, and I need notes sometimes. Oh, right.
It's you. I'm just sitting here.
How did making Gone Fishing go?
It was kind of a mess, Ivy.
Oh yeah. Oh, also
you might not know this.
Another reason why Food Fantasy was my favorite episode is because you recorded it the week I was having surgery. That one day where Ash is like, I was doing a PvP match and I got interrupted by Ivy texting me. That's because I texted Ash, I woke up from surgery.
And then I just kept recording the podcast.
Yep.
Well, it was really, really genuinely enjoyable. It was so much effort, because I was playing a gacha game for 3 hours, 6 days a week, and then, recording, 10 or 15 minutes every day, and then I had to edit, 6 discrete sections of audio together with, transitions and stuff, and I learned how to edit audio from Ivy just to do this. I think I still have, I have my notepad open right now that still has, thank you. It still has the notes that I took when Ivy was walking me through this on a Discord call. instead of using your pre-made Mastering for Dummies document, I just used the one that I typed out. And you might not know this. If you don't know this, I guess it's because you haven't listened to Gone Fishing. It's just, it's just all right. But I had a horrendous audio issue, where I had to download Audacity project tools and put my broken file in there and use the Windows command line in order to try and recover the sections of audio from this file that would no longer open on my computer and crashed Audacity every time I tried to open it for reasons I do not understand. I just was editing it and then suddenly it exploded. I was doing noise reduction passes.
I also don't understand how this file got so corrupted.
It got so corrupted. I genuinely could not open it.
Why did it save back to the thing if you didn't tell it to save? Literally bizarre.
Literally, I don't know what. I recover it. It's missing enormous chunks of audio from day one. I just stare at it for a while and then I go to sleep and then I try and recover it again to see whether or not it helps. And it does get a little bit more audio back for reasons I do not understand. But there's still these huge gaps in just the middle of sentences. And so I have to do the most intensive. I do 2 hours of audio editing on 10 minutes of audio.
In the Bandori episode, you do kind of have to sort of play a little bit of detective work to figure out what the beginner ticket is or whatever it's called, because they just don't explain it, because that whole thing gets cut out
because it doesn't exist in the audio file that I have. And then this almost happened for the Arknights episode. I don't think I've even told you this, Ivy, but I had it break again. And I had to put it in Audacity project tools again. And this was I was I can't do this. You did see me say I can't handle editing this podcast right now or messing with Audacity. I just have to do anything else. But it did break. I could no longer open it. I had to put it in Audacity project tools. I had to recover it. I had used the Windows command line. And it did silence a little bit of audio, but the audio that it silenced, instead of being on the actual track that I recorded anything on, was that it just silenced a little bit of cat breakbeat with more cats. And I was like, oh, okay, I could just re-import that.
Yeah.
And so it was fine. But then I was extremely paranoid for the rest of the time. So other than that, and other than the fact that I took several long schedule breaks and ended up recording the end of Gone Fishing while moving into my new apartment, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an enjoyable experience, and there was a lot going on.
You were also not having the best or quietest August.
No.
And so truly, God gives his greatest battles to his strongest soldiers, and the greatest battle is Gone Fishing, and you're the strongest soldier.
I'm the brightest and swiftest of God's soldiers. I was trying to figure out a different thing to say, but
salute the troops, specifically Ash. What was your favorite episode?
Listen, I think it genuinely is the Arknights episode. Despite the fact that Food Fantasy was my favorite of the games that I played. You liked it because I was transparently struggling to make the podcast interesting, because I just wanted to play Food Fantasy in the least interesting ways possible. But, Arknights, it ended up being shorter than I expected, that episode. I think it might be the shortest one that I released. Short.
Yeah. Which is funny, because it's it parallels the Great Gacha World Tour. Anyway.
That's true. But I also really enjoyed organizing my episodes in an order that was sort of parallel to the Great Gacha World Tour in my head. I was okay, we need to do Fate isn't really relevant to Project Sekai, but I was and then we'll end on it'll be good.
I would say Fate and Project Sekai are both incredibly sort of norm core gacha games.
Yeah. This was kind of my thought process. Anyway, but I enjoyed the Arknights episode because my secret passion is that I just love game design, and like really digging into like what makes Arknights genuinely a good game that's fun is like, you know, all of the things that I want to say when we're in the middle of a Limbus Company episode and I accidentally start talking about skills and synergies is like, you know, I just could do that. And I wish I had, you know, I feel like a thing that I struggle with in gacha games in general is like, you know, understanding intuitively what makes a unit better than another unit, other than just like experientially seeing whether or not they work. And so I couldn't really discuss it on that level. But I did really enjoy like digging into like, you know, what makes the various aspects of this fun. What's the daily like, you know, routine like? You know, is it accessible? Is it slow? Is it, you know, and it's just like, you know, it just had a lot of things. They're just really, really engaging as a game. And I enjoy getting to talk about them as someone who genuinely, despite hearing about this game for, you know, a year and some change, had never played it or like seen anything about it. So it was probably like, you know, I don't know that it was the best executed Gone Fishing episode because the Gone Fishing episodes ended up not really being about this. But it was my favorite. It's good. I just like Arknights.
And most importantly, Ivy's Arknights called shot.
Called shot.
From
it
day
is, it's
one,
published
baby.
by YoStar.
It's published by YoStar.
I was
Burb
like,
thought going home meant going to Ricci City.
Oh man, no way. I do wish I'd thought of Ricci City, but I don't think I could have like. I couldn't have looked at there's nothing to talk about with the gameplay of Ricci City, and I couldn't look at the Ricci City art without you. It'd be wrong.
Without you.
But I knew that Arknights was going to be on my list from the beginning because I was like, Arknights is an extremely popular game and I haven't played it and it's like one of the main things that I want to play. And then I realized that it was published by YoStar. I was like, I need something else that's published by YoStar on here. And I realized that like Azur Lane was published by YoStar. I was like, I'm not doing Blue Archive. But I was like, Azur Lane is published by YoStar. And then I saw Arknights on their website and I was like, oh, never mind.
The game where women are boats.
Yep.
Anyway, final thoughts on the summer?
That's like half an hour of podcast.
Yeah, whoops.
It's fine. People, you want this. It's my podcast. The summer was sort of crazy. In many ways. And I'm very glad to be back to recording Soulmates, my favorite podcast. The most important part of the summer, though, is that the art that I made for the Great Gacha World Tour fucks hard.
Fucking banging. We're going to do more Great Gacha World Tour in some format, if only just to reuse that art. Like, come on.
It's so good.
Fucking banging.
Thoughts about the summer?
It was one of the hardest summers of my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I was very worried about you, and then I was very worried about myself. And I'm just glad and thankful that you were there for me in many ways, but also making Gone Fishing. And also, honestly, enjoying the Great Gacha World Tour.
Yay!
So, thank you, Ash.
Yay! Thanks for enjoying Gone Fishing. I worked really hard on it.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma. You can come out now.
It's me, Emma.
Emma's just been listening to the podcast.
Emma's just listening. This is like when we did the birthday bonus segment, and Harry was like, "Oh, it was just like listening to the podcast." It was like, Hi, Emma. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you. This is just like that time when I visited your house and then I got really sick and then sort of semi-consciously listened to you guys record an episode.
Record the Roja episode while you were like directly in the other room.
Uh-huh.
And then you listened to it, and you were like, I sort of half remember some of these things.
Uh-huh.
You were also very ill.
I was very sick.
I'm infected.
but
I'm infected.
I'm infected. Oh no, nobody's gonna fucking understand this episode.
No, that wasn't for people to understand. That was just to sort of bump the frenzy meter a little bit. Just to get us off on a good
Why do you
foot.
do this? Why would Ivy do this?
If only we
God.
could be forever naive and pure.
Bought a drink at the 7-Eleven, and the 7-Eleven cashier was like, you can get 2 more. And I assumed that there was a promotion, so I went and got 2 more, but I just paid full price for 3 of the same drink. Why would she do this?
Anyway, welcome to the podcast, Emma. Should we just
Yay!
get to it, considering that we just wasted
Yeah, all things
I don't know, maybe
considered.
40 minutes? Wasted is strong.
that.
Wasted is strong.
What do we do on this podcast that isn't wasting 40 minutes?
I'm infected. I'm infected.
I guess I can introduce myself since I
Oh
did
yeah,
yes.
right. That makes sense.
of doing that. Hi, my name is Emma. I'm
Emma.
a woman.
It's Emma.
Also, it's me, Emma, and also the reason why I'm here is because for a while I mained Jovron, Mike Wazowski's dad, in Mahjong Soul, which is what I call Joseph.
It got us to put a soundboard clip on our fucking server.
I did it just for you.
No, this happened before.
Yeah,
this
we were
my
like,
getting
what's
Jovron,
not?
Mike Wazowski's dad.
What? Wild.
No, yeah. I just happened to get the funny Ron man. People who don't play Mahjong Soul won't understand what I mean, but
It's
people
fine.
who do
I'll-
will.
Ivy, you have
put it
to
as a
insert
fun
the
little
Ron
nugget
clip.
for you.
Editing Ivy, just insert random Rons throughout the episode, please. Like anytime there's a pause of silence, just add a Ron. Thank you very much.
Yeah. This will be easy.
Wrong!
God
This is
gives
what you
his
want right
artists-
after, like... This is what you want while you're recovering from surgery, right? And also on the first episode back, is to have, like, an intensive editing task
no,
to do.
I've been so bored for 2 months, Ash. I
Okay.
just want shit to do.
Wrong!
Wrong!
So, are we gonna explain the Mike Wazowski thing?
Surely
Yes.
we should at some point, and we
don't
an
have to.
opportune.
Well,
we don't have to.
We
we
don't
probably
have to,
should.
but I want to right now. So Joseph is a bird, and the bird's name is George, but the bird's actual name is Mike Wazowski. Because when Joseph in his standard Joseph's default look, when he's on the results screen, George's face is just fully covered up by the results. You can see everything else in the image.
It's covered up by the far left tile of the hand, which I think
Yeah.
is really funny.
And that makes him Mike Wazowski.
You can't.
And also, if you click on him, if like someone's playing Joseph and you click on them and like expand to like look at their thing, the bird is also cut off there in both the normal and the bond up. And also it's cut off like in several other menu elements. He just can't
That's
catch
Mike
a break,
Wazowski.
and thus he's you know him from anime and manga. He's
It's
Mike
Mike
Wazowski.
Wazowski.
And so since Joseph is Mike Wazowski's dad, he's Joe Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad. This is the last time I'll refer to Joseph as Joseph, so enjoy, dear listeners.
And also, we'll just call the bird Mike, and everyone
Yeah,
can
it's
just
Mike.
deal with it.
Listen, when we call listen. When we call things that they're not called on the podcast, it becomes cemented forever. KR976 is
Real.
KR976 to everyone who's listened to the podcast now.
The thing is that Soulmates defines reality, not the other way
It
around.
does. This is like what's that movie? This is probably just like that.
You know the one. Joseph's default look, and by Joseph I mean Joe Ron Mike Wazowski's dad.
Joe Ron Mike Wazowski's dad's default look. He's like, okay, here's the thing about Joe Ron Mike Wazowski's dad, is that we were looking through his voice lines earlier, and by earlier I mean like over half an hour ago. And he's like, I love him. First of all, I think he's very charming. But also he's like insanely, I know he's a world traveler. But he's like kind of America themed. He loves freedom.
But he's not. He
that's the thing,
He's Egyptian.
Yeah.
We should have this conversation. I guess in the it's race is very complicated. But like, are we counting Joseph as like one non-white, and also are we counting Joseph as someone with like race is very complicated, and a lot of the characters in this game are Japanese but have very light skin, which is fine. But are we counting him as like a darker skinned character?
I think so.
First of all, I don't think he's white. He's covered in Egyptian flags. Someone pointed this out to me recently, and I was like, "Oh, I think he's actually supposed to be Egyptian then, and not American." Even though he's got vaguely American vibes. No,
he loves freedom.
I noticed this, like, I don't know, a few weeks into using him, and it was just kind of because all of his voice lines have this very. He is definitely like foreign coded. Like, he speaks with an accent. He pronounces Ron like the name. Wrong. And like, you know, he's an adventuring man. He goes out and, you know,
adventures
from the indigenous population.
I know,
he sure does.
But maybe he's just adventuring in like his own, you know? I think he might just be an Egyptian man.
He might just be an Egyptian man.
I mean, he might be an Egyptian American, but I think
he might be. That's true.
Maybe. Anyway, if he's like sort of non-white, I'm gonna say, and like not intended to be not light-skinned, which he's still kind of, but I'm gonna probably say that he's the best designed, not, you know, non-light-skinned character in the game. I was thinking about this today on my little walk. And I have to take a little walk every day, but not too long of a walk because I'm recovering from surgery. And I was like, okay, so there's Joseph and he's the best. And who's the second best? And I actually think that it might be the dark-skinned demon girl, Miyu. Or not Miyu, sorry. Kuro. Yeah. Because, like, Kuro is like, she's the dark-skinned demon girl. But at least she's not the tanned girl. God damn, I forgot. But at least she's not Sarah, and at least she's not fucking Musa, right?
Musa's very, very bad.
At least Kuro is kind of just like, she's, you know, she's got personality that isn't being a racial archetype.
So true.
But Joseph is just kind of like an Egyptian American man. And like, shout out to being a man, a thing that Joseph definitely is.
Yeah, he's for you freaks who do not look at images. This includes me, incidentally, so I'm allowed to say this.
You have problems.
Wow, listen.
No, that was just like, Emma, that wasn't about the images. That was just like a general statement, just in case you didn't know.
You have problems.
Joe Ron Mike Wazowski's dad is a very muscular man. He has that, you know, distinctive apple shape where his shoulders are very wide. He's like an inverted trapezoid, like.
He has tiny hips, but then he has big chunky thighs. You can see under his pants. So he goes out again, but not at the hips. He goes out again at the thighs.
And he's got his jacket open and has a like deep V-necked shirt on underneath, and you can see his like pecs rippling out. Rippling.
What's funny
rippling
about
out.
this? Now, we can just start talking about the outfit. What's funny about this V-neck is that it has the extremely painted on look. You know, it's a painted on piece of clothing. We're all familiar with painted on.
We're all familiar with this.
Except you can really see the definition of his pecs, like under. And in fairness, it's a dark shirt. But you can really see the definition of his pecs, but you can't really see the definition of his abs. And so it makes him look just like a tiny bit schlubby IMO in a way that I find mildly charming. Also, sorry, I'm just going to talk for a bit, if only to start conversation. This jacket, I mean, it's a good jacket. This is like, we've been talking a lot with our friend May about ill-fitting pieces of clothing in this game. This is the most ill-fitting jacket I've ever seen.
Shoulders too wide, waist too small.
He's barely moving his arms, and the jacket looks like it's about to rip apart.
It's too wide at the shoulders, but he can't close his jacket. There's no closures even. There's no buttons. There's no zipper. There's no nothing. It just kind of permanently open.
Look at his left armpit. Look at how much tension is on the fabric there. It looks like it's about to snap.
Okay, I am going to listen.
Okay.
Yes. I just need to really quick. I was just looking at the character screen in order to refute your claim that Kuro is the second best dark-skinned character in this game, because I couldn't handle it. I think that the second best designed dark-skinned character in this game has to be A37, who, let me be clear, is just like, you know, his skin looks gray and it's like not good. But it can't be Kuro. It can't be Kuro, okay? It's A37 because he looks like
I totally missed A37. Yeah, that's fair.
Also, just like, you know, there's only like a couple of people who draw men for this game, and they're not like credited. You know, whoever drew Joe Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad, I guess, doesn't want to be harassed on the internet.
Yeah.
But
for drawing Joseph.
But Zan Tsukimi is clearly drawn by the same person. And I just noticed this while I was looking at characters. The other dark-skinned characters are fucking Musa, who's awful, and Sarah, who is equally awful, and the tanned girl. And it's like, well, here we are.
The thing
but
is,
Zan Tsukimi, if you look at him in this... Sorry, I'm not done. Zan Tsukimi, if you look at him in this lineup of, like, very light-skinned Japanese girls, has skin that looks a little darker, and I think this is part of just how this artist draws men. But certainly, I agree with you broadly that Joseph Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad, is like, you know, obviously an Egyptian man, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, oh my god, it's fine. He's kind of a little bit, like, it's not even necessarily about skin tone, it's that it's also just that he's, like, specifically, like, racialized, in a way
George
that
has
all,
the onk.
in a way that all of Kuro and Sarah and Musa and him are, but he gets to be, like, you know, a non-white, non-East Asian race and have that be, like, fine. I guess there's still a little bit of, like, you know, he's Egyptian because you raid Egyptian tombs or whatever, but that's not, there are worse things. So, like, you know, he's got like he's got like an Egyptian hawk, but I mean, he's an I don't know, it's still like a little bit stereotyped, but it's like, you know, I think you're allowed to a certain extent have like an Egyptian man who does sort of vaguely Egyptian things, and he's just like not weird about it in the way that the other, like, you know.
Is it a fully unproblematic piece of representation.
What in
Yeah.
Mahjong Soul
But
can
we're grading on a we're grading on a very steep curve here because Joe
sorry.
and then A37,
It's like the bar is low. You can't.
Ash.
the fucking nameless girl,
Mhm.
and the line just sort of drops through the earth.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. I think I like Kuro more than Ash does, which is fine.
Yeah.
Ash.
I hate
Joseph-
Fate so much.
Well, we've never talked about this on this podcast. Joe has the same haircut that both you and I have, except his top is worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he just like not get his top like why does he just
listen,
let it do that?
I have a similar problem where I let my hair grow out for 3 to 6 months at a time, and then I go get it cut, and it's it grows out into a mullet in the meantime. But I don't shave my sides as regularly as he does and just keep the mop. It's at least I just look like I need a haircut in a normal way.
Get your barber to just fucking do a little
Just
bit of
trim it.
shaping. It doesn't cost more money. At least it doesn't
true.
at my fucking barber.
A couple of details of Joseph's outfit that I want to point out. First of all the buttons on his jacket are pin. Second of all, the patch on his sleeve is the Wonso.
I love that.
Third
I
of all,
noticed this earlier.
The Wonso is my favorite thing about this design, truly. Third of all, that little tag on his zipper says Joseph.
Well, it's so that when he's at school and he takes his jacket off and he throws it in a big pile with all the other kids' jackets, he can find it again,
But no, listen though. This is a fabric tag on a zipper. This is not something that reasonably you attach afterwards to an outfit, which means that he got this jacket custom, and it still fits that badly.
See, here's the thing. He got this jacket custom made because he couldn't find one off the rack that fit badly enough.
Why does he have one side tucked in? We just have to acknowledge it once. But why?
Yeah.
It makes him look like shit. It makes him look like shit. He
There's
showed up to
somebody
this
who does
photo
this-
shoot 15 minutes late, and they're like, okay, just pose and we'll take the photo and then get the fuck out. And he just didn't untuck his fucking jacket.
Jokes for only my mother. There's somebody in a furniture commercial that is extremely local to my hometown who just has half of her shirt tucked in the entire time. It's it has the, it's like a blouse, but it's like a button up. And it's just got one of those front tails tucked in and the other one hanging out. And I think about this all the time. I'm like, is this a look? No.
I can't believe talking about the Great Gotcha Road Tour made me remember a bunch of things, and I was like, oh, he's got one side of his shirt tucked in, Love Smoke Bong Gun Girl.
Oh, so true.
So true. I love
So true.
Mike and how he's drawn. He's
his
so
face.
fluffy. His face is good. You're not wrong. But
His
look at
face
his
is
fucking.
adorable.
Look at his belly. The
Yeah.
feather work on there is really nice, and it makes him look so fluffy. He's such a fluffy little guy.
Well, I like that he's much smaller than you would. This is true of a lot of it's you look at pictures of owls that just have their leggies, but it's sort of dignified birds of prey that look like they have this kind of long sweeping shape, and then you look at where their legs are, and it's oh, you're just little. Just a little dude.
They're just a little guy. I love Mike. Shout out to Mike.
I love Mike. He just looks like he's pleading at the camera. He's so sweet. He's
He's got a nice little he's nice. He's just so fluffy.
There's kind of a detail to Joe Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad, that is I won't say unique, but not widespread. They were trying this for a little while, I think, and then they kind of dropped it. But Joe Ron Wazowski's dad actually has a little visual novel that you go through as you
Oh
watch.
yeah. You can see this on the wiki page.
A bunch of guys
Hmm.
have this. They sort of add one. They sort of add a new one every once in a while, kind of arbitrarily.
Sure.
Nadeshiko also has one of these.
If you go to his main page and you scroll down to story, you can see it's Jungle Starry Sky, right?
Yep.
Um,
And he's just so sweet to his son in this.
Aww.
He's just there's one thing that I really like about Joseph is that he's just a friendly guy. Like he's not like standoffish or like you know competing for the perfect boy award. Like he's just
he would lose to Ash, so it's like a lost cause.
he would lose to Ash. He is this kind of like he has kind of like he's doing his own thing. Like he has this kind of mature attitude to life where he enjoys himself but also knows when to I just like him. Shout out to
He's got good vibes.
He's got good
Yeah,
vibes.
good vibes.
He says, what's his line that he says? I'm scrolling down again to his
Is
voice
it
lines.
the line where he's like, "Oh my god, the TV station has been working me so hard. Let's just like take a day off and play some Mahjong."
That's not the
I
one
like
I was
that one.
thinking of. I was thinking of the one where he says, fishing is great. It helps to train your reaction, patience, and willpower. Oh, big fish, get!
There's also the one where he's like, "Fucking adventuring requires the body. Mahjong requires the mind. You have to be brave to use both." And I will think about this every day of my life.
I just...
Podcast requires the
big
mind.
fish, get!
Recovering from
Before-
surgery requires the body.
You have to be brave to use both.
You have to be brave to use both. Hey, can I talk about his pants?
Yeah, those
Sure.
are just... Listen,
but
that's just me. He's just wearing... Well, he's wearing gear pants. He's wearing slacks from Mike's Brick Warehouse.
He's wearing slacks from Mike's Work Warehouse. I just okay, I want to talk about these pants because I think these pants look kind of gorgeous in how they're drawn. It's just got this. I really like a particular shading style. Is my problem? Is this sort of pseudo, this sort of pseudo cell shading. And these pants just look really nice. They have nice sort of chunky full. They're if you look at it for too long, you're like, why are the folds like this? Like, why is his left leg kind of twisted? Like, why is the top of his left pant kind of twisted? But if you just kind of zoom out and sort of squint your eyes and take in the shading, I think these pants are drawn really well. And then you scroll up, and I think the shading on the jacket is way worse. And I think the shading on his muscles is awful. I think his muscles look terrifying. They look too much like meat, you know?
they do. Oh my
Listen,
god.
this kind of the depth of rendering is really impressive largely on all of this. But his arms in particular are like a musculature guide. And not even really a good or accurate one. And so, his arm that's holding Mike is look how smooth and long it is. It's very strange.
Okay, Ash, I thought we were gonna have a brain meld moment because I'm like, look at that fucking muscle bump on his
that too.
left forearm.
I was
It's
just busy looking at these long, straight brush strokes.
Yeah. But the image looks, if you scroll down, the bottom of the image where there's so much less depth of rendering looks so much better.
Oh my god, it really does. He's just like me. 2 belts, slacks from Mike's Brick Warehouse, tucked into the boots. He's got an overshirt and an undershirt. And he's rolled up his jacket sleeves. This is a look that I would wear. Probably minus the 2 belts and the deep V, but I
think we're almost done. But I want to talk about these boots briefly. They kind of fuck. Suddenly, he's a little bit fucking. What's the thing called? Clockwork shit. Oh,
steampunk. Yeah.
It's just a little bit steampunk. They also a little bit. I'm just gonna grab an image and send it to you. But they remind me a little bit, if only just in vibes, of the long fall boots from Portal 2. They've got sort of like the straps on the top and then a lot of reinforcement on the bottom. And they don't look exactly the same, but they give me long fall boot from Portal 2 vibes.
You're getting those vibes
which are
because Joseph should be wearing heels.
So true. He deserves it, honestly. But
He
they're
does.
just like, they're fun. They're nicely rendered. They're fun boots. I like them. He has 2 belts, but then he has like 4 belts on each boot.
It's true.
Listen, when you're adventuring and stepping on, I don't know, rocks in the wilderness, you need to make sure that you have good boots.
Stepping on wrong.
Stepping on
Stepping on rocks.
Wrong!
Well, you need to, like, what if you're, like, exploring a cave and you slip and you're falling into the abyss? That's when you need the long fall boots.
What if you fell into a creek?
Moving on. Emotes time, I think.
Yeah,
Wait. One last thing. One last thing.
Just one more thing
that I noticed. Just one more thing that I noticed, and I've been itching to point out. So on his left arm, do you see that watch?
Yeah, it's a nice watch.
Zoom in on that watch.
Okay. Zoom in on that
Control.
watch.
Yeah.
There's a part of a sort of mechanical analog watch called the crown, that you use to set the time and wind the watch.
Oh,
if
yeah.
If it's that kind of watch. And if you look at what side of the watch the crown is on, you may notice that the watch is on backwards. Moving very swiftly on. Emotes time.
Emotes! Let's go!
Also, really quick, I like that this person did their like falconry research. Like
For real, yeah.
He's got the like he's got the I forget all the falconry books I read as a kid are failing me. He's got the arm thing, he's got the lead, the glove, the side that where he holds his bird has a glove so that he can safely handle Mike. It's good. Anyway,
It's good.
emotes.
Yeah.
Emotes. It's time for emote 0. Joseph's first emote. Do we want to?
Okay, I want everyone. We'll go from left to right. So starting, I think everyone's in the same order. We'll go from left to right. So starting with Ash,
Okay.
everyone make the sound that you think he's making in this emote.
Oh!
Whoa!
See, I was going for the vowel sound from raw.
No, I heard that. It was good.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I forgot. This is our first episode we're doing with fucking similar by tags emotes.
Oh my god!
Managers
you're
of
right.
this wiki are insane. Is there anything we've done before? There's the Love is War guy. This has the tag amazement, which
Amazement.
I would maybe tag all of these astonished, because amazement is usually like a positive thing, and most of these are negative IMO.
It's similar to that one Miyuki Shirogane emote where they zoom way in on him and he's got one big eye. But in this emote,
Wait, Ash, did you say that without noticing that it's there?
what?
It's there in the other amazement things.
No, that's why I said it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Never mind. Moving on.
Wait, it's also similar to the Lin Lang emote where she's black and white and has the lighting bolts around her. What? No, it isn't.
Oh.
Amazement, I suppose.
Amazement.
But in this emote, Joseph's cheekbones are really defined, and he doesn't have a nose, but he does have a very tall mouth. His eyes are just like, white with little pinprick pupils. His eyebrows are, sort of angry and amazement. Instead of having like a normal, this looks like an unfinished emote is the thing. Because instead of having like a normal background like they usually have, where they have the big blocks of color, it's just like blue outlines of a block of color. It's like, shouldn't this have been filled in later?
It's like blue crayon scribbles.
It is in game. It is
filled in with white,
It's
just so strange. Anyway.
Oh, I see.
He's just
I'm dragging it over the Discord. I see.
He's going, oh!
Wrong!
Oh. He's going, oink?
He's going, oink?
I never used this emote because I thought it looked weird.
And it does.
It does look weird.
That's what they say about it.
I think it's approaching the level of like facial definition where you would expect the nose there, but
but they just eliminated it. Space in the face.
The nose.
Yeah, and instead he just becomes emaciated.
He is. Listen, there's a couple of emotes in his set where he has these like strong cheekbones. And by that I mean 4 out of 9. Although one of them is specifically meant to look emaciated and not just, like that. And then the rest of them, he looks like a normal Mahjong Soul character with emotes. But it's like, why do they do this to him?
Yeah, he doesn't even have... This isn't really a strong feature of his face.
I mean, he does have the cheekbones, and they are shaded in because this artist loves men's skin. But, like...
Yeah. Oh. Oink.
Oink?
What?
It is funny. It's a funny looking emote.
Joseph won the second emote.
Joseph won the second emote.
I guess we'll just, again, go in the Discord order. So, Emma, you can describe this one.
This one always had sort of weird vibes to me because he's leaning back, he's looking sort of pleased with himself. He's he's got his eyes closed and his eyebrows sort of in a sort of casual, relaxed relaxed atmosphere, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I did use this emote sometimes because it's a very good emote, I think, to use when you're sort of torture timing. It adds a very nice sort of like it adds a nice sort of depth to his move pool, because this is as we're going to describe are of him feeling sad. And this one is just
man.
He's a sad man, and this one is just like him chilling out and having a good time, and it looks like he's relaxing after,
Do I?
Wrong!
My problem with this emote is I actually think it has good vibes. I like his little kitty cat smile. I love a little kitty cat
I was gonna say, you have problems with his little kitty face?
My problem with this emote is that it looks like he's in a hot tub, but he still has his clothes on.
It's true. You're not wrong. He's like leaning back in a chair, but that is the pose.
I can't look at this and not think that he's in a hot tub, because this is just like the quintessential hot... This is a me problem, to be clear. This is the quintessential... But if you scroll down in the optimism tag, and you look at... this is Samir. And you look at Samir lounging in the hot tub. It's the same energy. They're together. This is two dudes in the hot tub 5 feet apart. But Joseph still has his clothes on. And for some reason, my brain cannot escape this interpretation. And so I look at this and I'm like, the hot tub, but with your clothes on. With your ill-fitting jacket still on.
There's just one thing I want to point out about this emote. It's 2 things, actually. First of all, this is one of those emotes that has an emoji underneath it for unexplained reasons. Cigarette.
Cigarette.
Second of all, this is tagged optimism. Similar by tags is Birdo.
What?
the optimism tag.
optimism.
Don't look too long at the optimism tag. It's a mess. Why is this Ronsei nose picking out? She's not
Optimism.
Why is gulp in there?
I know. Listen. Optimism.
Optimism.
Birdo is optimism.
There's so many optimism emotes that are about alcoholism.
What's Mew 5 doing here?
Listen, I wish I knew. Just kidding, I don't. I don't want to think about her at all. What about Joseph 2, the third emote, moving swiftly along?
Alright, great. In this one, he's so chibi. Like, he's the most chibi I've ever seen. He's very soft and round. He's a round little face. He kind of looks like a children's cartoon character in a very particular way that I can't explain. But he just kind of has like a sort of grin, and he's doing a sort of like, I don't know how to describe this gesture. He's doing
a singular finger gun.
He's like, he's doing like a finger gun up, or sort of flicking his two fingers up.
Peace sign, but he just hasn't spread his fingers.
And he's got sort of like an orange semicircle behind him coming up from the bottom right. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. He's like doing a little, maybe he's doing like a snap. I guess finger gun is fine.
It's a gesture that you could do if someone were taking a picture of you.
Yeah, he's just sort of pleased. Yeah, he's just sort of like, this is sort of a cash Instagram photo kind of pose he's got on him.
Mm-hmm.
This one's good. This one's tagged superiority. This is a new feature of the podcast because this website is insane. God bless MahjongSoul.club, the Mahjong Soul database. What are they cooking?
I don't know, but they put so much work into this damn website, and they break it constantly.
They do.
Because they're trying so hard.
They're bad people.
Now I'm thinking about, like, what was it like to go through and tag every single one of these emotes?
With only a couple of tags available to you. And one of them is tropical drink.
You have to think that some of these have slightly more, like, resonant, original, because the developers of this website are Japanese. You think that some of these have maybe more resonant, correct original Japanese, and then they had to translate them. But, like, even so, this is a weird set of emotes, and it's also so many of them. But also, anyway, we can't get too distracted by the tags, but they are fun to talk about. But back to Joseph 2, I think this emote is totally fine. I think this emote expresses exactly what it needs to express, and it does nothing interesting, except to make him look extremely soft.
It's, this is like the closest thing I think that Joseph has to this is just what I look like in my base art emote.
Yeah. He's just kind of like, it's like a mix between a and a wave, and it's sort of nothing else. And that's fine.
Good for him.
It's a functional piece of art. It doesn't catch my eye, but it's totally fine.
It's a good emote to have. It's sort of his I'm cute and also his his hi emote. It's good. Not that much to talk about, but it's just, it's functional.
Joseph 3, the fourth emote. Big muscle. He's got a pink half circle behind him. He's extremely chibi again, and he's doing like a little grin, and he's got sparkles all around him, and his arm is real big. He's doing a big flex. He's even got, it's kind of hard to read, like from a distance, and also even when you're looking at it close up, but he's got his hand like on his forearm so that he can just like bulge his bicep more, the gloved hand, so it just like blends in with his undershirt. It's kind of wild. Ecstasy.
Yeah. I need to talk about the ecstasy tag really quick. They have one character's masturbation emote on this, but they don't have the other character's masturbation emote on this. And I'm like, what's with that?
What's with that?
They're the same
what did they
email.
even tag horny for book as?
I was gonna say, if there's anything that belongs here.
But like, well, I mean, like, I could see them tagging horny for book something different than ecstasy, but you can't have
You can't have one of the
yeah, you can't have Madari. Literally, we took this image from a scene where she's masturbating in the bathroom emote, and not have horny for these need to be in the same tag. If I'm looking for one, I'm looking for the other, you know?
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh.
Oh, it's
This is
tagged love. It's tagged love because it has hearts on it. Yeah, sure. Anyway, sorry,
fair.
Joseph 3. I think that this emote makes Joseph look incredibly gay, and maybe it's just because it's pink and I'm homophobic. But like, it's just got like big. It's pink and it's sparkly, and he's got kind of like a goofy vibe about it, and I'm like, I don't think he's trying to impress a woman in this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
He's
like
just like Gerard.
it's just got big sort of bear energy, you know?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph 4,
And
the fifth emote? No, okay.
I appreciate it
Joseph.
for that.
Joseph 4, the fifth emote.
This is one of your favorites, Emma.
This is one of my favorites. This is Joseph. This is we're past all of the emotes where Joseph is having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And
now we're in misery town.
And now, much like the Boston Red Sox, we're sort of crashing through the 500 line as our hopes for the postseason sort of crumble into a fine gray dust.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Joseph's first sort of sign of trouble. Says this is what Joseph does. This is what Joseph does when you claim two of the Yakuhai two of the dragons triplets, and you don't see any of the white dragons in the distance. This is what Joseph does when you have all terminals and honors. When you have like 4 all terminals and honors, but they could be going for it, but they're probably not, right? But they could be. He's looking back. He has his back to the camera, and he's looking back towards it, and his face is sort of cloaked in shadow. His eyes are sort of squinted into sort of squinty with dot pupils, and his eyebrows are sort of I don't know, what is it?
Downturned,
yeah. And he's giving this sheepish little grin, and he's been caught out in something.
I feel like this emote is the emote where he's going oink.
Oink.
Oink. Confusingly though, this emote has been tagged sneer.
I don't think they're wrong. I think that like he looks very troubled. You're not wrong. If you look at this emote and you have certain feelings about Joseph, you're like, this is a very troubled man. But I do think this can read as like a mischievous little like.
I think it's flexible. Oink.
It's flexible.
I think it's flexible in that way.
The brief look at the emotes that are tagged as sneer, almost all of these are accurate, but I do think it's funny that Hana and Nomiya, what the fuck is on there?
Nomiya chalkboard is here. Why is Hana and Nomiya chalkboard here?
Sneer.
Anti-shout out to Musa.
Anti-shout out to Musa.
Yeah, anti-shout out to Musa. I also think this Musa emote is kind of good, but we'll talk about this eventually. But yeah, I feel like this emote is like, I'm troubled, I'm infected, but also like it can either just be a straight up like I'm doing a silly little thing, or it can be like I'm doing I'm in trouble, but I'm not gonna stop. It's like,
I twitch.
I'm not gonna play defense. This is why I'm not gonna play defense, even though I know I should. And I'm a little troubled, and I'm also a little bit of a prankster, and I also kind of want to die, but I'm like, what if? It has depth.
I twitch. This emote is really good. It's a very particular expression.
Yeah.
I love this emote very deeply. This emote is my son in the same way that Mike Wazowski's dad's son.
Wrong.
Wrong!
Joseph 5, the 60 emote.
Nobody came.
Nobody came.
Oh my god, similar by tag, nobody came!
Despair!
It's right there.
Nobody came!
It's right there! Nobody came.
Nobody came.
I like that he's turned into a marble statue. This
is one of his, once again, cheekbone emotes.
He's just like been completely destroyed. He's been drained of all fluid. And he's just sort of become he's just become a figure of dust. If you touch him, it'll just sort of dissipate.
Just like Emma.
Just like Emma.
This is why Emma plays this guy.
It's really good. I really like definitely this is why Emma plays this guy, and not because random draw from the gacha. I really like the shading. The shading lines on this are real cute. It's just like, it's really evocative and fun, and I like it. It's kind of perfect, yeah. It has like a different, to compare it to Nobody Came, which is nice. It is nice that you can see both of these side by side. But even though it's doing a similar thing, it has a completely different vibe. In Nobody Came, she's like become a tiny little doll, and she's like just kind of like meh. In Joseph 5, he has like aged 80 years in a single go around, you know?
It's like in Nobody Came, she's like not accepted it yet. She's like still sitting there kind of stewing. And in Joseph 5, he's just like completely, he's died.
This is the depression stage of this is the depression stage of grief.
Roll.
Hey, here's the thing about Joseph 6, the 7th emote. First of all, this is an emote in which he's died. Again. Also, this is tagged sentimentality, which has Nadeshiko Bond up drunk on the floor on it, but I feel like it should have all of the other drinking ones on it too, if that's what we're doing. Anyway, this one also has the cigarette emoji under it.
I think all the ones that have a cigarette do.
Why?
I don't know. It's kind of fun.
This is the third of his cheekbone emotes, and also, he has between his fingers, like you would smoke a cigarette, 3 cigarettes. And he's just like, there's a little gray behind him, and he's just staring down, like, He's got a little eye line. He's just looking at his 3 unlit cigarettes.
It does remind me of the classic Team Fortress 2 meme, Gentlemen.
Mental Gen, yeah.
Mental Gen.
I don't know what you're talking about here because I'm a baby.
But you are it's fine. You are correct that it does kind of look like him and Nadeshiko are hanging out. And they're just kind of having like a sort of bad time indulgence evening. And he's like sitting on the beanbag and she's just lying on the floor and they're like, oh my god.
It's like the worst.
I almost made like a joke that would hit too close to home. It's fine. No,
you can't make it. I'm not encouraging you to.
No, it's fine. I'll DM it to you later.
Okay, whatever makes you happy.
I think one thing one thing I really like about Joseph's emotes as a set is that, like we've said, a lot of these emotes have sort of they can be reinterpreted, but they also have but the emotions are also sort of like keenly felt in them.
Mhm.
Like you can tell that in this one, Joseph isn't just smoking 3 cigarettes like he would one. He's bummed out. He's having a bad time. He's just he's been having a chronically bad time. But also
He's a Red Sox fan.
he's a Red Sox fan. Yes, he's a Red Sox fan after watching them go from 10 games over 500 to 0.
People, this is what I suffer whenever I'm in a voice call with these two. God
Listen,
gives
I looked at my
the
phone.
hardest battles.
I
to
looked
his
at my phone
strongest
briefly,
soldiers.
and it took everything in my power not to go, the Rockies beat the Braves while you
Nope.
were in the
Yeah,
middle of a
nope,
sentence.
Nope.
We're going to. I'm
Wrong.
gonna finish
Wrong.
my thought.
Wrong.
I'm going to finish my thought, and we'll go on to Joseph 7, the 8th emote.
The eighth email.
Like just these emotes as a set are not like over complicated and difficult to read like some of the newer characters emotes are. I think the art is very sort of simple and stripped back and plain in a lot of these, but it doesn't like harm. It doesn't make. It doesn't like it does. They still manage to get across like very clear and sort of genuine emotion in them, which I think is just neat. It's a good it's a very nice contrast compared to a lot of newer characters emotes who just have where there's just a lot going on and it's hard to tell what's going on.
Well, here's the thing: is I kind of disagree with you on your sort of fundamental value judgment here. I think you can do a sort of complicated expression and emote that's got a lot going on, and like they all tend to be fairly reasonable, except reasonable and readable. I meant to say readable, but I guess I just said reasonable. But both are true. Like I think it's okay to have like a complex emotion emote. Emotes are allowed to be art. Funniest
sure.
shit I've ever said.
Uh-huh.
But the thing I like about that aspect of these emotes is that Joseph is just a very straightforward guy. He just like expresses his emotions like very clearly and very directly and very loudly. And in these emotes, that's what he's doing. The only ambiguous one is the one where he's being intentionally ambiguous, and even then it sort of feels like he's being kind of bad at it. But like in the smoking one, like he just like, he has an emotion, and then he's like, babe, here's my emotion. And you're like, okay, Joe. Maybe you should go out and do some hunting with Mike for a bit to clear your head. But yeah, and I just like, and I like your interpretation of this emote. The fucking one where he's turned into a statue is like, something bad has happened right now and I instantly age 80 years. This one is like, this one is more grounded, and it's like, bad things just keep happening, and all I can do is just smoke like more cigarettes every time until I'm TF2
3
mental
cigarettes at once.
meme.
Okay, I just love this guy. I just love this little guy.
It's Joseph 7, the eighth emote.
This is TF2 mental Jenny.
Thank you for letting me know. This is tagged silence, and the silence tag is actually very well curated.
Oh my god,
only emotes that are silence.
Except for meh, which is not silent. It's fine.
I mean, it can be argued.
I think Ching Luan, and maybe this Kavi emote maybe don't belong here, but
I think the Yuiyagi emote doesn't belong there, and the Ching Yuan emote doesn't belong there, but all of the rest of them are perfectly good.
I wish this tag was just named ... and then it could just do all the ones that have ...
He does have ... under the image.
He's saying ... He has a speech bubble. If you drag it, if you drag it off of the club,
it's got a white background.
It does have a white background on the speech bubble. I forget who's describing this one.
Emma.
It's Emma, right?
Oh fuck. So in this one, Joseph. Wait, no, wasn't it me last time?
No, it was me last time.
No, it was you last time. Fuck. Listen.
You just got excited about that one.
I got excited about this
emote
one.
here that's tagged silence, but she's literally saying meh. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emma
Anyway,
just said that.
I just said this. Joseph 7, the 8th emote, where he is pensive, he is deep in thought. He's once again in this sort of chibi style, but he's got his eyes closed, he's got his brows furrowed, he's got a hand sort of he's got a hand rubbing his beard. His head is tilted down. There's a blue blob behind him, and he is saying ... like we said, and I think this is part of my Joe Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad. This is one of the emotes that I like to use before I call Ron on somebody.
Thinking about it.
I go thinking about it, and then either like excited emote or like smug little smirk in the hot tub clothes on emote, and then I hit them with the Ron.
Wrong!
Or if it's like a hand that I shouldn't have won and it's a bad hand and it's like, middle tile, middle weight, 2 remaining, I do the sheepish one.
Oink.
Oink.
What?
Oink. Yeah, this is a really good one. I really like this one. He's got a good... It's just good. He just looks good.
I like that the background is sort of bubbling in thought. It's just a really nice, subtle little touch.
I like the way that this speech bubble is like, just sort of... just looks like that. It's diagonal, and also its tail is like weirdly trailing off.
Everything's
like,
kind of like weird and bubbly because he's thinking, and so everything's
thinking.
a little bit sort of uncertain. And
He's thinking.
It just really works. There's sort of like, I don't know, it's not, but like because of the background shape, it feels like the speech bubble is like poking out of the frame, which is cute and fun. And it's just like, it's a weirdly sort of well-composed, nice to look at IMO.
My boyfriend bought me a postcard that just says, on a yellow field in red letters, think with an M. It's on my dresser right now. Think, and I think about it all the time. I think about it.
You think about
and
it.
this is what this emote has the energy of. This you could put this like you could put think above him.
Think.
Think.
I think he's going wrong.
Wrong!
Joseph 8, the 9th emote.
It's my turn.
Return of the cheekbone.
He's a full man. He was a little chibi guy, but now he's a full man. He's a fully rendered man. He's very angular. He looks a little bit like the king from Katamari Damacy. And he's very heavily shaded, and he's very angular, and he has just like black shadows for eyes, and he's making a big frown. And behind him is this big shadow off to the right. And he is just, suddenly he's a real man, and he's very, very upset in a very sort of stern and scary way.
I'm gonna derail for 2 seconds because I just found an emote that has more than one tag. And it's the Isumi emote where he's staring at the microwave and he's all like sooty and he's got the ... That was tagged as silence, and it's also tagged as disappointment.
So they are tagging some of them with multiple tags. Interesting.
This makes me mad because some of these should absolutely be tagged with more and they aren't. But it's okay.
This is sort of a new feature. Anyway. This emote is good. It's frightening. I don't like looking at it, but I appreciate its existence.
His collar is very strange.
It does kind of look like a Mario Kart banana peel.
His collar is very strange. His Adam's apple is weirdly defined.
Uh-huh.
I think I like the Adam's apple. So having it be that defined works very well in the context of like.
It's very strange, but like good for him.
It feels like it's in a weird place. It probably isn't, but I feel like it needs to be more to the right, like our right, his left.
I can't believe we're doing this again. And by this I mean our right, his left. Anyway, this would something. I just like the fact that Joseph.
Even a normal way to talk about. Anyway,
Joseph has a. I love that Joseph has a series of emotes which go from like I'm troubled but it's fine to complete despair to smoking 3 cigarettes to no longer a person, no longer no longer looks like an emote, no longer exists. Just an image of Joseph.
This is Joseph after losing 90% of his original emotions. I don't interpret this emote as being like scary necessarily.
I'm just like frightened of men. I just think it's scary.
That's fair. This is like
also I do interpret it as scary, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I sorry. I didn't mean to like say. I didn't mean to imply that
you're literally. You're fine.
Okay. It's. I tend to think of this one as being like I'm as being like having come out the other side of like.
It's like determined. Come
out the other side of like his smoking and smoking 3 cigarettes at once art. Necessarily in a determined way, and more of just like I'm not even upset anymore. I'm just kind of mad now. He's
emerging from the shadows. I see.
He's going like, well, oh come on, like this sucks. What am I even supposed to do about this?
It's like when Emma is done becoming a fine gray dust and instead just like starts yelling in my DMs. About baseball, obviously.
Alright. About baseball, yes. Although I do use this one occasionally in the thinking, in the thinking about it, and then some other emote. Torture.
But what does that convey?
This is like it's meant to convey like you've met your doom.
So it's scary. So you're saying
it's scary.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
You're saying it's scary.
Yeah.
So you're scaring people.
Scary.
So you're using it to scare women. Emma wants women to be scared. Emma wants me to be scared.
Everyone wants me to be scared.
By the way, we should take a break.
Yeah.
This first segment did not go as long as I thought. But if you're on mahjongsoul.club/inventory/default-joseph, just looking at his default skin, if you scroll down to the other images category, in the waiting room thing, you can see an example of the Mike Wazowski
Oh, how
effect.
much he gets Mike Wazowski. I see.
Yeah, he gets very much, but he's just in frame enough that you know he's there. But he specifically gets his eye cut out, which is the important part of the Mike Wazowski. And that's just one example. This happens multiple times in the UI.
Thank you for letting our viewers know.
Just so the viewers can get a taste without having to encounter.
I made that mistake, and then you just repeated being completely with full confidence in me.
I'm infected. Okay. 5-minute break.
5-minute break.
Hell yeah.
Emma, don't pause your recording. Bye.
I know.
Emma, don't pause your recording.
Bye.
Emma.
Bye-bye.
Emma.
探検で重要なものはボディだ。そして、麻雀で重要なものはブレインだが、 どちらにも共通して重要なもの。それは、ブレイブだ。勇気こそが探検のすべてだ。
It's just such a good
Just
damn
kind of goes
song.
hard.
Piano
Just
cover
does
that goes
go
hard.
Uh-huh.
And it's a song about being a transgender lesbian.
God bless your soul.
Okay, have we gotten all the baseball out of our system?
We mostly didn't talk about baseball.
Fuck.
We mostly talked about Jet Set Radio.
Fuck. Well,
Understand the concept.
I don't want to talk about baseball ever again. And
Yeah.
if the Red Sox
We don't want to talk about baseball.
crumbled away, then it would be great.
uh-huh.
Engraving our aspects at the moment.
Uh-huh. Well, do we want to talk about available after making a bonding promise with Joseph?
More than anything.
Welcome back.
More than
Understand the bonding promise with Joseph.
isn't that still the concept of love?
Yeah. Understand the concept of love.
This is
for you, son.
This is Joseph's bond up. Hey, so like I'm gonna start. Hey, so like look at his face, right? Okay.
I'm looking.
Look at his face. Is this what it? So I don't know things because I don't pay attention. But is this? Look at his face and like his hair and like. Is this what yassification means? Is this yassification?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They yassified Joseph so
yassified him.
hard. He's so smooth
Yep.
now.
Listen, his cheekbone gone.
God. He's just a smooth, flat
Obliterated.
plane.
He has bangs now.
Has bangs now.
Instead of a cigarette, he has a Ricci stick. Things about this outfit that are Mahjong themed, and things about this outfit that are insane and / or Egyptian. First of all, his watch doesn't have any numbers on it anymore. It's still there. It's still a watch. It just is like that. And also his falconry glove doesn't exist. His falconry armband now gold.
It's not even.
He's got a Ricci stick in his hand. Instead of having the one he's got one peen fucking pauldrons on this jacket. And then he's just got a dagger with the eye of Horus. He's got the ankh on his chest belts now.
So,
you know.
Quick question. What do you think this dagger does in Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't know fucking anything.
I don't know either, but the concept
I think it lets
is
you
kind
slice
of
a monster spell in half to get 2 half-sized monster spells out of it.
Why do you think this?
I don't. It's Yu-Gi-Oh. Anyway, moving on.
I've never watched or played Yu-Gi-Oh!
There's a bunch of relics that have this particular eye motif, and they all do stupid things in
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yu-Gi-Oh. But he's
does
suddenly
still-
so dripped out. He's got this completely useless chest belt sort of operation that normally you would have one of these and you would have fucking, I don't know, objects on it. Fucking grenades is the first thing that comes to mind. But no, it's just kind of there to be ornamental, and kind of make it look like he's going to the bondage club. He's hanging out with Gerard.
He's just like Gerard, yeah.
He's got this fucking kind of uncomfortable looking necklace on. He's got rings now.
It looks really heavy.
Yeah, he's weighed down by all of his ornamentation. His belt is so fancy. He has a second dangling belt.
So fancy.
Oh god.
He's got his leg holster. His leg holster, honestly, I love because it's such a grounded piece of this outfit to be attached to his JRPG belt. I mean, it's attached in an insane way. Don't get me wrong. It's tied by belts to his belt. And also he's wearing a button-up shirt, but with hidden buttons. It's just like looks like a seam running down.
It does look like it has sort of like on the inside hidden buttons.
But like this leg holster is just like genuinely a piece which he needs to holster his dagger shittily, but it's just like is there for a reason, and I appreciate that.
Look at the shadow underneath that strap for the leg holster.
Mm-hmm.
Like that dagger is not secure. It's just kind of dangling.
It's just kind of dangling from the upper belt. This is shout out to May. His shirt looks so uncomfortable. It's wrinkling in all the wrong ways, and it looks awful. He looks like the problem is that he looks like shit.
He looks like me getting ready for an interview, which is to say every shirt that I've ever owned feels like this. It doesn't even have to genuinely look bad or be uncomfortable. I just always feel like this. I'm like, oh my god.
I can't, he's
like,
so gasified. I can't look at his face. Is this like a different artist? Did they get a different artist to do this?
No, because it's not. Like, it's just, they've covered his skin with more clothes, so he doesn't get to have the, he doesn't get to insane amounts of muscle definition. But also, like, the difference between how his damn, like, slacks from Mike's Work Warehouse, Jesus Christ, look in the first image, and how these, like, shiny leather pants that he's wearing that cling to his thighs look is kind of insane.
He is, like, absolutely going to the club. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, he is going to a drag performance. I'm not sure if he's walking, but, like, he's certainly going there.
Well, he's not walking, he's kicking off of the street.
I think that Joseph is really bad at voguing.
I think that, listen, this would be a sick drag king outfit. I'm gonna be real with you. There's a lot of pieces to remove. I think, like, this jacket as a piece is just, like, it's a little unwieldy, but it's kind of an incredible prop.
Yeah.
Like, it's just got so much ornamentation that it's just, like, fun to wave around.
Of anything, I do like the jacket, like, a lot.
The jacket does just kind of rip. It's just, like, it's kind of sick. But it's not, there's something about it.
Yeah. I think
it just exudes this aura of being fucking weird.
I do think that interpreting this weird fucking chest strap as, like, a fucking cool binder is kind of a good take.
That is awesome, you're right.
This isn't Joseph. This is someone doing a drag. You know, like the Kaguya-hime that looks like someone wearing a Kaguya-hime costume and also trying to
100%.
This is someone doing a drag king performance in which they're dressed as Joseph from Mahjong Soul. And they've just turned his, like, Egyptian aesthetic up to 11.
The other thing I think about the way Joseph looks in this, with all of these, like, little ornaments, you being, I guess, implied to be, things that he found on his adventures and is wearing now on the street for some reason, is that, like, it contradicts. It contradicts his fucking Bond-up stories, because, like, one of the things you do in his Bond-up stories is you go to his apartment and you expect it to be, like, decked out with all these treasures from his adventures, at least your character does, right? But you go there and it's, like, just kind of empty. Like, there's not much there. And your character, like, remarks on this and says, "Oh, I was expecting there to be, like, all these things here," and he was like, "Well, I was feeling really sort of I used to really love adventuring, and then I started
and then he started smoking 3 cigarettes a day." What?
And then I started feeling really like burnt out and sad, and I stopped adventuring, and like I didn't adventure for a while, and then like a friend of mine like came over to my house, which was just full of all these artifacts that I took without permission, I guess, and he was like, "Oh wow, like look at this thing. It's so amazing. Like, how did you get this?" And he told him a little story, and then at the end he was like, "Why don't you keep that?" And it made him feel happy because like he realized what he liked about adventuring was not getting all of these material things, but about like making people happy, about like being able to share his stories with people, being able to um, be a light in people's lives. It's not about these material things. It's about making people smile.
I have a spin-off
So-
interpretation from this. That is not me and Ash's sort of insane. This is someone doing a drag king performance of Joseph Tinfoil. But that this is him on TV. This is his TV getup. This is what he looks like when he's doing his adventuring
honestly,
show, and he has to
you're
put on all his
probably
stupid
right.
stuff, and he has to be kind of like orientalized, for the sake of the camera. This is him doing that. That's also why he just looks less excited here. He's like,
Also,
he's
they
at
put the
fucking
makeup on him
work.
and it smoothed his face out. They did his contouring.
They did his contouring. He's at work. That's what he's doing. He's in front of the goddamn
He's at
camera.
work.
He has to do this stupid. He does this stupid leg kickoff pose, and then he just like falls on a mat, and they just need this so they can get this shot for marketing. Fucking Mike absolutely hates this shit. Like, look at this stupid.
Yeah, his
Oh,
face
God.
is so like he has to put the fucking core on, like the like the eye makeup. Did I do that right? Core? Is that what it's called?
Sure. But like, look at this fucking big red sun behind him.
No, I'm absolutely wrong.
That's-
Oops.
That's gotta be so uncomfortable. It's gotta throw off his balance.
Yeah,
This motherfucker has to fly.
It's gotta. Yeah,
Cool.
it's gonna.
That's what
It's gonna. It's gonna weigh him down, and it's gonna cause so
Yeah,
much
yeah, yeah.
drag. It's gotta be.
I think this is a CG mic.
Like,
I think this is a CG mic
Yeah,
that they
he
generate
doesn't have
for...
anything to land on.
Yeah, this is a
So
CG
it's
mic
like-
that they generate for marketing.
And also the like a thing that genuinely bothers me about how this image is drawn is like these feathers are fine. Some of them are better than others. I don't like the ones that are just like really blurry immaterial shapes. But underneath his foot, the one that's in the air, there's just like a bunch of these little shadows that mean nothing. This is like either green screen artifact or they're supposed to be feathers or just like something that got missed in the art and genuinely is a mistake. And it genuinely bothers me so much that these are here. I hate it. But it does make sense if he's like kicking off of a like a prop. It just like couldn't cut all of
Yeah,
that.
and he doesn't have the fluffiness in this one. I mean, the leg is kind of fluffy, but not in the way I want it to be. It's just like it's not my favorite Bond up. It's sort of fun.
No.
Like there are appealing parts of it.
There's details of it. Like I like the way that his hand with the watch like grips his jacket as just like
Yeah.
there's parts of it that are very grounded as like a piece that makes sense. Which I cannot say for all Bond ups at all. And so like the fact that a lot of pieces of this outfit sort of seem real and material, and like this is something which is real and material, is very, very nice. Like cannot be, understated.
Yeah, the problem
Cannot
is
be
that
understated, cannot be overstated.
the problem is that some things have weight and other things just don't, and it's sort of hard
Shout out to his belt buckles. Or his, not belt buckles, the fucking straps of this coat. Whee!
Woohoo!
The one on the right I really hate because the buckle just makes it look like it's curling in this insane way.
He does looks like he's about to attack you with them, like he's Dr. Octopus.
Well, he looks like he's drawing out his arm that's got Mike on it, like he's just about to deck you.
Oh my god, this episode's gonna be so long.
Let me at him.
Anything else to say?
The other thing is, like, if this is Mike, fuck, I called the guy Mike. This is Joe, Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad at work. Then, like, once again, I mean, you know, like, I imagine there was not a high degree of coordination between the artists and people who wrote the Bond Up story.
There's more than you think.
Yeah, but I'll take that back.
I think that Sharon has read the
it's...
Bond Up Nadeshiko story, but I think that's just because she's a freak.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, like, you know, the last episode of his Bond Up sort of thing, where, you know, the one where before you get his Bond Up is it's of him, it's of you and him, like, not at work, just out in the jungle, parachuting into the South American jungle, and just not to go and find treasures, it's just to have a good time together, like, as friends. And so, like, every interpretation of this outfit just kind of, like, is wrong, aside from the one where this is not Joseph, instead a drag king, and dressed up as him. I don't know, like, I don't use this Bond Up. I've bonded up with Joe, Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad. I guess this makes me Joe, Emma, Ron, Mike Wazowski's stepmother.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't like how his face is just not his face. I don't like how, like, I don't, yeah, I just weird vibes on this one. I don't use it.
Weird vibes on this one.
This is tagged. We didn't go over the tags in the last one, which is fine. This is tagged boots, something that isn't translated, and I'm looking at it and I can't make sense of it. And then dagger, watch, Hawk, and George.
I love that it's tagged George. Like, so
George
true.
Has his own tag. There's only 2 things that are tagged watch, and one of them is not his previous thing.
Let me tell you, there's 3 things that are tagged George.
There's 4 things that are tagged Hawk, because there's one other image that has a hawk in it that isn't Joseph.
Oh, so true.
Emotes?
Yeah,
emotes.
It's emotes time.
It's emote 10, which is actually the 10th emote.
No, it's emote 10. It's the first of the Bond Up emotes.
Right, yes, sorry. It's emote 10, the first of the Bond Up emotes. It's been a minute. This one is tagged positivity. I love that this is positivity, because it isn't. This is, it's a Mike emote. This is the whole reason why you Bond Up Joe, Ron, Mike Wazowski's dad. So you can get the Mike
this is
emote.
90% of the reason.
It's just Mike yelling. He's got a big red spikes behind him. A lot of the positivity emotes are shooting various beams. Also, Kagehime chainsaw. This shit is not. This is a mistranslation. It is not positivity. It is attacking you with swords.
My favorite thing tagged positivity here, is the what's her name? Ayane one where she has the big needle. Positivity.
Positivity. Listen, it's right next to Lily carrying the big cross that she's about to smack you with, and, like, honestly, same vibe.
I think they're kind of girlfriends in this particular image. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah. Wait, no, the way it's lined up, Lily is about to hit Eve with the cross.
Also, this Eve emote, positivity.
Positivity.
Tags.
Anyway,
positivity.
Back to the bird. This is a pretty good emote, I think. having...
This is the better of the two bird emotes.
Yeah, I think that he's having a good time in this one. He seems... I can see positivity in this. He's... Maybe you read anger, but I think he's, like, excited. I mean, when birds are excited, they yell very loudly. And when they're mad, mostly they attack you. But, like...
Attacking
They
you with a
sulk or
branch.
attack you.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But, like, this is, like, he's excited, and I like it. It's nice to look at.
He's got little shout lines.
I wish this stupid little fucking sun behind his head was gone. It's weird. They have to
know.
make it
I wish this was
weirdly
just
small.
normal Mike.
I know. Give me normal Mike excited.
Give me normal Mike.
I wish they'd. I wish it was normal Mike excited. I wish he didn't have the face paint because I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Just how bad for a bird it is to like be trained in that way. I don't know.
It's tactily unpleasant. But like the base sort of expression and emotion expressed here I enjoy.
Yeah.
Joseph 11, the second of the Bond Up emotes.
Joseph 1-1.
Joseph 11.
Joseph
yes.
1-1. Yes,
Joseph
sorry.
Comma 1 is this is Mike, not Mike. Fuck. So once again in the sort of chibi style, it's getting late, and I didn't get that much sleep last night anyway. So if I end up saying something like the Master of the Three Realms, you have to be nice to me.
We can't do this. We can't do this.
Be mean to me.
Don't worry. Me and Ash got lots of sleep, so we'll carry you. Anyway, the emote, the emote.
Joseph in a chibi style, wearing his new jacket, and he's slamming, and he's got this like grim expression on his face, and he's slamming down his fist. There are motion lines, they're blur lines as he slams down his fist in front of him, and that's when he calls Ron. This is the
wrong
emote.
Wrong.
Editing Ivy reminder. Wrong.
I know.
Have you been doing it?
Wrong.
Probably. Editing Ivy. Are you fucking
Let us
it up?
know, dear listeners.
Wrong.
Are you fucking it all up? Wrong.
Right in with the co-host asks feature and
To tell us whether we're fucking it all up.
Yes, whether we're fucking it up.
Wrong.
I think this
one is good.
Slam.
You bring the hammer
I like
down.
that this one doesn't even look like he's in his Bond Up. He just looks... I know he's in the jacket, but he's like...
the jacket doesn't even look like a jacket. It just looks like a cool shirt.
Also, it's like... Listen, in the Bond Up, he has, like, one sleeve rolled up and one sleeve not. Not true here. And also, he's wearing the necklace and the collared shirt, which are just not visible here.
Yep.
So he just looks like normal.
I feel like the motion...
Just normal
Just
as
I
hell.
feel like the
normal.
motion lines on this look really nice. These are just like really
it's
fun,
great.
nicely drawn motion lines that make a little sort of flame, as if like his hand is moving so fast it's burning the air.
This is him completing the motion that I was suggesting, where he's gonna deck you. But instead of decking you, he just slams his fist down and goes wrong.
Wrong.
Except he does it with sort of a dispassionate expression.
Yeah, this
Wrong.
is tagged disgust. I found a new emote that has two tags, and it's
what the fuck?
It's Hana Nanomiya Blackboard, and it's tagged disgust and sneer. And I'm not sure if it's either of those things.
What? Where's the sneer? She has her
It's
back
on the
to
blackboard.
camera.
Also, there's an emote here of this is a guy from. Okay, this is one of the fucking Code Geass emotes guys, but he just has a gun.
Oh yeah, that's
He just has like
Suzuka's
a real gun.
That's his gun. That's Suzuka's gun.
Oh,
emote.
this is one of the Soup Boys.
Yeah, Suzuka's gun emote.
You know it from anime and manga. It's Suzuka's gun.
It's his gun. To be fair, Akagi also has a gun in his disgust emote.
God damn. Anyway.
Gun tag.
A37 has a whole ass rocket launcher.
But that's like comical. The Soup Boy gun is like it's just a gun.
He's just threatening
it's
you.
It's just a gun. Are we moving on?
Joseph 1-2, the third Bond Up emote, is tagged as contempt, and a lot of the silence ones are also tagged as contempt.
Fascinating.
That's all I'll say about that.
I think I do not interpret this as contempt. I think, first of all, I feel like his so it's him in sort of like a chibi half body, and his cloak is kind of swooshing off to the left. It's implied he's moving to the right, and he's doing sort of like an arm flip off to the left. And looking as he does it with sort of like a very small smile and sort of raised eyebrows.
He point at you.
Also, I really like how his weird chest belt thing is rendered here. Sometimes they really,
it's nice.
Sometimes they really struggle to render the insane shit they draw in chibi form. But this is a really nice interpretation of his various belts. Also, this is once again, I think I can say this word on the podcast. Yeah. This is an emote of Joseph being incredibly faggy. This is him at the drag show, and he's like,
yeah, no, it absolutely
he's either
is.
doing. This is him walking. This is him doing drag. Like, he's doing a little pose as he walks down the runway.
This is him being mid at voguing.
This is him being incredibly mid at voguing. That's the energy that it puts off, is he's trying to, like, do a sassy little vogue at you, and he's, like, kind of not that good at it. I really cannot say anything else about it. It conveys exactly that specific thing. And that's literally all I have to say. He's just mid at
I like this emote a lot. I like when Emma uses it, and I like the pointing emotes. I like it when they point. I point at you.
Why is there not a tag for pointing? There should be more tags for, like, practical, physical things.
They should let us work on this website.
Can we, like, apply to... Whatever. We shouldn't. They all speak Japanese,
no,
we
shouldn't.
Although we sent in an English language bug report, and they fixed it.
And they fixed it.
So,
They fixed it.
Snowy New Year, Joseph?
Snowy New Year, Joseph.
Snowy New Year, Joseph.
Happy New Year,
Wherein
my friend. Never have I expected that one would like a gentleman in traditional Japanese clothes.
Uh-huh.
That's his line.
That's his line. Snowy New Year, Joseph. Wherein he does really terrible to his son.
So Mike's in a little snowman with a little orange on top, which is very cute. But this has to be bad for this bird, if this bird is from Egypt. Like, this has to be bad.
This is bad for any bird.
There are two things that are tagged orange, and the other one is Haruna Igarashi fortuitous beginning, which does provide some context for the fact that clearly this is like a thing. It's the two white things, and there's an orange on top of it.
Yeah. He's still yassified. In fact, he might be even more yassified.
He's very bishy in this image.
It's, like, increasingly sharp and smooth. He, like, look at his cheek. It looks like a window pane. Like, it's just...
Well,
there's, like, a little bit of definition.
There's a little bit of cheek.
But, like, the smarm in this expression is, like... It makes him... He's very sharp and very bishy.
The boy band energy in this is, like, too much.
It's the fedora and, like, the tie underneath, the collared shirt and tie underneath the fucking yukata is, like, insane.
Yeah. He's, like... He just, like, went to, like, he's in Japan. Presumably he's in Wonhan City. And he just, like, went to, like, assuming Wonhan City is in Japan, which is sort of ambiguous. But nonetheless, he just, like, went to a New Year's festival, and he just, like, grabbed a yukata off the rack and just, like, put it on over his collared shirt. Like, he was like,
on top of his fucking suit.
He's like, it's a festival, so I have to dress nice. And so he wears a collared shirt and, like, a nice hat, and he's probably wearing, like, a vest under this, and then he just grabs a yukata.
He's got loafers on.
I want to blend in, and then he just also, and and he also grabs like a fun-looking robe and throws it over top of that. And then he also definitely grabs this umbrella off a stand, and he just like puts together this sort of like kind of like awful-looking mid outfit of kind of like
it's so
clashing
the color
dull
coordination
tones.
is garbage. He's got this bright blue tie. He's got these rose-tinted glasses that do not work. The navy color of the fedora is not the same as this purple color of the robe at all. This gray has like a brown tinge that just absolutely does not work with any of this cool tone. As does his like belt that he's wearing that instead of an obi because he's a weirdo. And also it's red on the inside and has red polka dots, which makes no sense for the fact that this is like a patterned, like full all over print robe.
I kind of like this little dots just on the bottom thing, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but it looks awful with this outfit.
The red is
like
different.
Shit.
It's a different red than the umbrella red.
It is. It's bright. It's like, listen, this is like it's not, if he's going for traditional Japanese clothes, first of all, he's failed utterly, because he just didn't do it. Second of all, this has a nice, if he was just wearing this yukata, no robe, no nothing, it's like, this is a nice, it's got like a modern, like a pop art sensibility to it. Yeah. It's, this like, kind of polka dot pattern that's like really bright and bold. It's got this really bright color. It's an abstract pattern. It's just along the bottom, and it seems like kind of asymmetrical, and it's like, it's cool.
Yeah, it's got some vibes.
And then he just puts this fucking purple robe with the snow on top of it. It looks like shit. It looks like shit. Yeah, and also he just refuses to wear a good outfit.
Yeah, the yukata has the vibe of that, what's her name? I like her. Everyone likes her, but the one Japanese artist who makes all the, like, big dot things and all the big hanging ball installations.
Yeah.
Who's, like, writes a lot of poetry about psychosis. I like her a lot. And then, like, it's nice. You made a good selection, and then you just, like, combined it with, like, the worst shit of all time.
I know that he's supposed to look bad.
Yes.
He has to be.
No,
because
I think that's the point, right? Because the whole thing is like...
You look at the emote, and he just is like the lamest dad you've ever seen. It's just he's so bishy in this image that I can't appreciate it.
I was gonna say, like, I think it has this... I think it has this, like, goofy earnestness about it that I think goes really well with his, like, personality. He is, like, he's loud and he's a little bit clumsy, I guess, but he's trying his best, and he genuinely is trying, and he genuinely, like, trying to, like, make people happy, right? It's kind of like he's a lovable little guy, but I gotta come out with something here. I forgot that I had Flux on this whole time because it was sort of gradually ramping up. I had the T Corp orange filter over everything.
How much worse does it look without the T Corp orange filter?
It looks so much worse.
It looks like shit, right? The colors look like shit. I have a blue light filter on right now because it's 10 p.m. for me, and it's like, it's fucking. I'll turn it off. It just like it looks like shit. It looks like shit.
The hat.
I just see, but I could get behind this as like him looking stupid and goofy if like he just looked a little bit more like Joseph. And it sort of doesn't work.
Listen, if he was like, it's a really cute character thing if you read into it. I wish you didn't have to read into it in order to get that. You really shouldn't have to. It should just, like, look nice. And it should just, like, he can be earnest. He just shouldn't look like a boy band member while he's doing it. He should be doing like a cheesy little smile. It's like, this is not, I can't handle it. It's just like, it makes me angry because he looks like shit. And like, I get that he looks like shit for a reason, but I just, I don't even get like this about fashion. I just, It just looks like shit. I've said more things about like color coordination and pattern matching in the last like 10 minutes than I've said in my entire life. It just looks like shit.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to his mismatched shoes. One is black and one is brown.
Oh, his
Oh
shoes?
my god, is that true?
Oh,
I think that's just
I
a
think
shadow,
it's just-
but it
it's
would be
just
really
shading.
funny if true.
I think it's just shading.
No, it has to. It can't just be the shading
Uh-huh.
because both of them are in shadow. But one of his shoes is black and one of his shoes is brown.
Uh-huh. The Emma mismatched shoes tinfoil.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't happen by accident. He has to have left the house like this.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Also, Mike is there.
Also, Mike is there.
Also, he has evidently embedded his pet inside of a snowman.
Uh-huh. I do like how disaffected Mike looks. And he's still got the necklace that he has in the original art, except instead of the ankh,
It still is the ankh.
Oh, it is.
It's just they tied the
and
charm
they tied
around
the charm
it.
on the ankh. Oh, that's actually pretty cute.
It kind of rules.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Like, there are lots of parts of this image that kind of rule, and I still just hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It could be two things.
Uh-huh.
It's. I'm glad that there's the base art.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Emote time?
Emote time. I turned my night shift on
It's
off,
almost-
and it's just like that fedora is so navy, and it makes me so mad.
It's
There's
almost over.
so
huh?
much going. Well, we'll talk.
Segment.
There's so much going on in this emote. It's just like so busy. I mean, fundamentally, he's just like he's holding the burb. He's holding burb. From Soulmates.
Hi, Burb.
The Great Gotcha World Tour, Chapter 1. He's holding Burb, and Burb is looking sort of disaffected and like, sigh, when do I get to leave this stupid snowman? But he's doing like a fun thumbs up, and he's got a goofy grin and like closed eyes, and it's cute. And then this outfit
this is what the main outfit should have looked like, by the way.
Uh-huh. And then this outfit is so much, and also they put a red thing in the background, that it's just like the busiest image of all time. It has like 12 colors.
Mm-hmm. I kind of love it anyway, though.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
This is,
It conveys
this is
the
what
goofy, it conveys the goofy sort of like fake, like not really knowing what he's doing, but like having a good time better than the main image.
This 35-year-old man is just here to have fun.
Uh-huh.
I think that also the fact that he's picking up Mike in like wholesale inside of the snowman. He has not embedded his pet bird inside of an actual snowman.
Surely not.
He has somehow constructed a fake snowman and convinced the bird to get inside of it, which I think that's fun. It's like it's like a Halloween party kind of thing, pet dress up thing.
It's
fun.
fantasy world. It's okay.
It's fantasy world.
Great.
Happy for him.
There are two more emotes, technically.
Oh
and
yeah,
those are
it's the spring fireworks one that looks like shit. And
yeah, it's
Why is he fading?
also the cat
fading
paw, which
away?
is just standard.
Yeah.
it's just not anything.
Oh my god, I forgot about cat paw. Like, I forgot about biscuit eating torture time.
Biscuit.
But why is he like fading into the sun? Why is he like vanishing? He's being consumed.
It just looks like shit. Is why.
Yeah, that's fair.
We don't even need to address it. It just looks like
This
shit.
is Joseph. This is Joseph dissolving into a corrosive red.
Pretty good.
So numbers for both of them, of course. As one of the most important things established in the Great Gotcha World Tour, if there's
is that you have to do numbers for both of them.
is that you have to do numbers for both of them, like just like generally.
Excited
speaking.
about the implications for this and Miki.
So true. But like, let's stay focused for once in our goddamn lives.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. But cute. It's at least middling cute. Because he dresses up in stupid stupid garbage clothes and puts an orange on his disaffected son.
He's
I'm gonna...
he's not like. Go ahead.
No, you can go. Wrong.
He's not not like conventionally cute, but I think he's goofy and endearing, I would say. And so yeah, I'd say middling cute at least.
I think that he's more cute than appealing. I think that he's
this is true.
He sort of frightens me, but I'm just sort of frightened of men, especially large.
You're frightened
men.
of men. It's okay.
But also he's just kind of
he's shit at picking outfits.
He's just kind of this 35-year-old weirdo kind of loser who loves to go hiking and wears weird clothes that don't fit. And is just kind of talks about his job too much.
Big fish, get!
And he's just kind of I think that if I brought Joseph to a party, everyone would kind of have the reaction of he's very droll.
He's very
and this
droll.
is IMO. This pushes him in the. He's just kind of like a weirdo. If you just look at his main default art, and you're like, oh, he's just a muscle man, then that's fine. But one,
then you don't know that he's a freak.
I don't think he looks that appealing in this, but that's maybe a me problem. None of his clothes
It is kind of
fit.
a you problem, but it's okay.
But then in his emotes, he's very cute. He's just he's just like a 35-year-old man who's too excited.
And he's also very sad.
I think this is the strength of Joseph's emote set. Is that half of them are about different flavors of him being sad. Mahjong is all about being sad. So, it fits the game like a glove.
I want to give him a 4 on cute.
Hi, could you hear me when I was saying stop?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay,
Yes.
We're resuming the conversation. Emma, I missed most of what you said, so we're gonna resume the conversation in 3, 2, 1.
Wrong!
Okay. Hi, we're back.
No, nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Just
Nothing
keep
happened.
talking about him being cute or whatever. Or his emotes. His emotes.
I think yes. So I think that Joseph. I think the reason why Joseph's emote set works really well is that they're mostly about him being sad, and Mahjong is a game all about being sad all of the time. It's a game that sort of corrodes the human spirit, and I think that just having this happen to a guy like Joseph is just very funny and is just kind of inherently funny.
He's very droll.
It's very droll.
He's very droll. I want to give Joseph a 4 cute. This might be high,
This is bold.
but it's how
It's
I
sort
feel.
of a different direction than we usually go with cute, but he's sort of a 35-year-old man instead of a 17-year-old
He's sort of a
girl.
35-year-old man.
So, the
listen,
cute
it's either a
standards are
4 or
different.
a 2.
Cannot be a 3.
Cannot be a 3. He's not middling cute. He's either cute for a 35-year-old man, or he's cute.
Wait. Okay. Well, what's his appeal though?
Lower than that.
Lower.
Okay,
than
It's
that.
either a 2 or a 1,
It's either a
depending on what the cute
either a
is.
2 or a 1. It's not a 2 or a 0. It doesn't scale.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I
well,
guess it's
scales
always
a bit
half.
different.
It scales. It halves. Fascinating.
I'm glad that you understand me and my extremely strange number fixations.
Ash, we established earlier that I'm obsessed with you and your weird fixations. So, I don't know what to tell you in this circumstance. Oh my god, look at his loading screen art. Look at how chubby Mike is in his loading screen art. Insane.
Oh my god! Cutie!
Uh-huh.
I do hate how his pecs are rendered, but I love that he has a peen on the bottom of his shoe for some reason.
Oh, weird. But
And also, more importantly,
so it's either a four cute, two appealing, or it's a two cute, one appealing.
Or a two cute, one appealing.
Great. I'm happy with these options, but I need to pick them after we choose his Kinsey number, I think.
Okay, great. Hi.
I agree.
Hi. Yeah.
I don't... he's designed to be appealing to straight women, and maybe he succeeds at this. I couldn't tell you.
I don't think that matters.
Come across that way in any form.
I think he is a strictly homosexual man.
Oh, is this our second 6? Are you proposing a full 6?
I think he's a 6. I don't think it matters that he's supposed to be attractive to straight women.
Oh yeah.
In fact,
no, it doesn't.
I think this detracts from. I think this is a point in the favor of him being a fully homosexual man. Just because he's like that, generally speaking, is like the progression from his default to his drag outfit to his weird lame dad is like so like he's like Cary Grant to me. In that he goes on TV and he's a TV person. I mean, Cary Grant's an actor, but you know what I mean. He's like a personality beloved by the world, and beloved by straight women everywhere. And it's a completely open secret that he's a faggot.
He's just like a goofy gay guy on the side. Yeah, okay. And I think now I think that he's for cute too appealing.
Yeah, okay. I'll accept that into my life.
426.
426.
I have no notes. This is just I just love this guy.
What a weirdo. What's his problem?
What a
What's
weirdo.
His damage?
I like that all of his lines are translated extremely awkwardly. I can't decide if this is racism or if if they just did that. Because I just like that his Bond-up line is, "Hey, partner, how's this? A different dress could do wonders sometimes." Good for him.
When did he come out?
Like 2020? Or no, 2019.
Okay, he might have been like
Early.
one of the first men. Their translation was like not as up to snuff back then.
Yeah, there's stuff like, forget about it, tobacco is just too early for you.
Yeah. I think their translation is just like not up to snuff back then, and they never read.
Sometimes you can see him in a Mahjong club sitting indoor for the entire afternoon.
Sitting indoor.
Under the suggestion of his friends. Also, despite his young age, bro is 35, but that's okay.
35.
I meant to bring this up earlier, and then I didn't, because we kind of jumped right into it instead of talking about him as a whole. Which is okay, because this is going to be a long episode.
So I had a bonus segment planned for the end of this episode, and I don't know why I did that. It's just a good bonus segment. But this episode is long. Do we want to do that, or do we just want to stop?
That's up to you, because I don't know what you have planned.
We can
and this show is
do it
for us.
Quickly, if you want.
Well, I don't want you to abbreviate it.
Well, fuck. I mean, I guess we could edit it out, but it's more fun to be weird. I'm gonna type in the chat what it is, and then we can decide if we're up for it. Or if we want to push it. Pushing it does mean that Emma doesn't get to, but then pushing it means that Emma gets just sort of listen to it, which is, anyway. We did spend like half an hour making this perfect.
You did, I know this. It's the one thing I know about this. Okay. The thing is
that we're tired, but also, like, this
The
is
thing is,
the episode
we're
to
tired.
do it.
This is the episode to do it, but I do think it's gonna take a while.
Okay, you want to do it right.
If we want to do this right.
Uh-huh.
I feel like, for my part, I wouldn't. I don't know how much I would have to say aside from like nodding my head and going.
But you
oh,
could just
that's
sit there
good.
and listen, like Harry
That
and
seems
the
reasonable.
Like
birthday.
Harry.
Yeah. If Ash,
All soulmate guests are the same.
Ash, if you want to push it, we can push it. Although, next episode is probably also going to be long, so you know, complicated.
No, we should push it.
Okay, we'll find a time.
Yeah. This is just a good segment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny if it reappears completely without the context that is inherent in it happening now. It's just like a stupid in-joke.
Well, I'll let you guys like look at it briefly, because I need to share screen anyway to do the randomizer. I guess.
Oh my god, you made a whole thing for this?
It's like half an hour.
Oh my god, you sure did.
Yeah. You can even.
Oh my god.
Look.
Awesome.
It's beautiful.
I put a lot of work into this little copy.
This does mean that you don't get to use the co-host asks feature this time, but it's okay.
This...
You can send me what you think the segment is.
Tell us what you think this segment was. But yeah, I made the whole thing. There was even like going to be a teaser for next episode in here, you know?
Well, now it's perfect.
Well,
I love it.
If I was gonna do a teaser, I might as well say it. Next episode's gonna be a season 2 episode. I like to just say this because, like, you know, they're very popular, and so it hypothetically gets the people excited. Question mark?
Yeah, I guess.
Next episode's a season 2 episode that is also going to be the worst episode of the podcast.
Oh my god, we're gonna be
I'm gonna enter the podcast already having talked to Ash for 20 minutes, like, off recording, and being just like completely just like unbearable. It's gonna be great. You get to learn about milk. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh no!
You sure do get to learn about milk on, you know,
you sure
the episode
do.
coming out in 2 weeks, which is a season 2 episode. You can figure out who it is, because that's how season 2 works. But Emma is here. We should roll for the next season 1 character.
I'm very excited.
We
haven't done this in so long.
Okay, so because I've been obsessed, like recording this episode has been like the thing that has been getting me through surgery recovery. It's like as soon as it's September 5th, I get to record a podcast episode with Ash again. As soon as it's September 5th, and so I've been obsessing over this episode forever. And for the last week, I've had this like insane, just like divine feeling where I'm like. When we random at the end of this episode, it's gonna be a good character. It's gonna be a good character. It might be even one of my my special prepared bonus episode characters. But it's gonna be a good character. And then we're gonna like the next Just Me and Ash episode is gonna be a good episad because we're gonna do a good character. And now I'm staring at the random
Ivy,
button.
your tinfoil.
I'm freaking out. I'm like, it's gonna be a bad character. It's gonna be the worst.
Oh my god.
It's probably gonna be something extremely mid, because that's, you know.
That's most of them.
Are we all ready?
I'm so excited.
Oh god.
No matter what comes up, I'm gonna be so
anxious
excited.
I'm like more anxious about this than like the birthday or the like we're doing this in 2.5 months. I'm so anxious about it. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just gonna hit the button.
Oh, here we go.
What? Oh no!
Well, it's a character.
Ash, do we want to do a bonus episode about this, or do we just like not care that much? Yes. Okay, great. Bonus episode. I mean,
well, then there it is.
So in 2 weeks from now, season 2 episode. Everyone get infected. And then
I'm infected.
And then
week after it the whole damn time.
And then week after that, bonus episode. And then week after that, this.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy. Shout
I
out
mean-
to
Yeah?
Emma, I have to cut that out of the podcast, you know.
Because it's
I
too
have
much
to
of a
beep
spoiler.
you.
Okay.
You can't... Emma,
seems
you're
reasonable.
so bad at not spoiling things. It's fine, I love you. Well, Emma, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Sorry, I'm staring at the screen in like a daze. I forgot that I had to like say anything in that moment.
Uh-huh. I'm glad that I didn't stick to my concept that this was gonna be a good role. I don't know if this is a bad... Well, I just don't know how to... I just don't know.
It is both a good and a bad role.
It's just... Anyway, thanks for listening to... Oh, wait, I had one more plug at the end of this podcast. Holy shit.
Mhm.
I forgot about this, because it's very stupid. But hey, everyone, special returning from the summer thing. When this episode releases, we're gonna have a YouTube channel.
Oh my god.
You remember me
Oh.
talking about this.
I do, but
This
forgot.
YouTube channel is just going to be a mirror of the podcast episodes, unless I'm probably not going to get fancy with it and upload anything special, although it's there if we need it. But there's just going to be like a YouTube music account, and if you hate podcast apps, which I know some people who listen to this show just like fucking go to the website these are our friends who hate podcasts, except for our podcast because they love us. But if you want to just like follow us on YouTube and have that be slightly more convenient for you, or just sending someone like a YouTube video or a clip of a YouTube video is sort of like an easier way to share the podcast with people. We're gonna have a YouTube now. I'm gonna put it in the episode description. That's all. Extremely minor announcement. Normally I wouldn't announce like we're on a new podcast platform, but YouTube is just
This
kind
is like
of
not a
funny.
podcast platform.
Yeah. So you can listen to the episodes now on YouTube. And you can now finally like, comment, and subscribe.
And subscribe!
And subscribe.
Finally, you can comment both using the co-host asks feature and on youtube.com.
Uh-huh. I don't... Anyway. Bye.
Wrong!
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Have a good one, folks.
まったく紆余曲折があって良い旅だったな。また会おう友よ。